we're fucking up with the mic and everything, so we should be good. We should be good now. You can hear me, right? You can hear me, right? Now it's lagging though. Fucking internet connection, but tell me if you can hear me from the mic now. Can you hear me from the mic now? Now I'm like,
if you're talking now, I can't hear you.
You can or can't? Now I feel like you're breaking up.
Plug into the phone directly.
1 2 3 1 2 3.
You feel
1 2 3 1 2 3.
4 5 6 7 8 9.
So I'm good. It's the mic, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you were breaking up just then, but
and then we just gotta figure out the lag.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not lagging right now.
Yeah, you're not lagging.
You're not lagging.
All right. So I think it was because I think I pressed Wi-Fi off for a second, but that was a while ago. So I don't know. But we're here. This is not bad. And I put the title wrong. I don't know if I could change the title.
You want to end to do a fresh one?
No, I think I can change it. What up, Ryan?
Right,
You're back. So is it working now, Ryan? You can hear us both, right? Yeah, I think I can change it. Maybe. Let's see if I can change the title on this. You got to be able to change it live.
How's my audio? You can hear me?
Yeah, you could hear you. You got a mic in, or you got a?
I'm on the glasses.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah.
What for the sound though?
I'm on the glasses. The mic's from the glasses, and the sound is from the glasses.
But the video's from your phone.
Yep. And so even when I'm in my car though, my car has it's like a dual mic built into the car. So if I was on the car audio, it would be that way. So, but it was 15 people in here a minute ago. That's crazy. It pushes out when it feels like it.
Yeah. Now I think I messed up I messed up that one. I messed up that turn. I didn't even see the 15. I didn't even show that on mine. It showed like maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah. As soon as I jumped in, it's at 3 now. So.
Yeah, I see 3. Yeah.
Did you type in anything in the description? I don't know if the description helped.
I just put the day 85 part 2, and it just kind of vertical. I think vertical is a hot keyword on YouTube right now. I think they're pushing shit with vertical in the title. Oh, I got
24.
24. We're at 20. Yo.
I think that's a record for you.
What up, George? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
what's your record on this? What's your record on the YouTube live?
600.
600 is crazy. What up, BTA?
But that's why it pissed me off, because it's not pushing my stuff out now.
Yeah, it's weird. They played you. They'll probably do the same to me. Kelvin Jackson, what are you doing?
What up,
We just
Kelvin?
chatting. We both went live earlier. He went live twice earlier. W streams, and yeah, we're just chatting right now. What up, George? Yeah. It's real.
Yeah, I think it was 600 because I was doing the Diddy talk.
So my Diddy story, the numbers go up.
The only thing that sucks is that I can't use my headphones. I had Bluetooth headphones. Maybe just these headphones.
My phone.
So I'm kind of like questions.
Now you're on the phone audio. It sounds different.
Oh, it switched over?
For me, you're on the phone.
It doesn't sound. Oh yeah, no, you sound the same.
Something happened where it just.
Who are you talking to, JC?
Let's try it now. You said, look at the camera. Boy, you is wild. That's why I didn't even look at the camera. I'm reading the words.
Your boy is crazy. Yo, what do these crowns mean? How do we break that down? What that means?
You know how these little racist cunts be?
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about them. Why is his thing number 3 crown and then number 1 crown? Is it like how much you comment? Which one do you like best? Make a choice, my brothers. Make a choice of what?
What are you talking about, Willis? I'm joking, brother. Oh, now I'm joking, brother. Earth, Wind, and Fire, or the Isley brothers?
I might go with the Isley.
I'm gonna go with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I feel like Isley's had more hits for a long time, but Earth,
Nah, I'm
Wind,
gonna
and
go with
Fire is
Earth, Wind,
fire
and
too.
Fire, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, Meta,
That's a good question.
turn volume up 100%.
What up?
Tasia's Club, what's good with you?
What
Hey,
up, human?
Meta, turn volume up 100%.
I feel like we saw human before, right? Wasn't he in the chat before? Human.
Human was in your chat yesterday. What's up with you, Tasia's Club? Okay, wait. Slow down, Kelvin.
Yeah, Calvin, you're really going for it.
Slow down. Earth, Wind, and Fire for one reason only. Well, there's probably multiple reasons. Literally reasons. One reason only.
Yeah. I might have
The
to.
reasons. The
Yeah, true,
reasons to be real.
true. So we go
That's
to the
it.
next one.
Now,
Marvin Gaye, Al Green.
now
It's got to be Marvin Gaye.
it's got to be Marvin Gaye. That we can agree on.
Even though I love
That we can
"Let's
agree
Stay
on.
Together" by Al Green is one of my favorite songs of all time. But
Oh
Marvin
yes,
just
definitely.
got more.
Let's stay together. But I mean, what's going on is a timeless classic that speaks to today. He had a lot of love hits. Uh, so definitely Marvin.
Mhm.
Kelvin, I appreciate you. I do something called you said it's the Isley Brothers. I mean, yes, I love the Isley Brothers, but you're
I
giving
was
me a
the same
choice,
thing.
and I'm going
They
to go
did
with
Shout, didn't
Earth, Wind,
Isley
and
Brothers do
Fire.
Shout?
They did a version of Shout. I don't think they're the originals. However, they got what is it? Ooh, baby,
They got a
making
lot.
love between the sheets. Don't.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a hard song to beat.
I'm telling you, Zapp. I'm gonna go with Zapp, and Zapp is sad because his own brother killed Roger.
I'm gonna go with
Ooh,
Parliament.
that irks.
I'm gonna go with
Okay, you like the
Parliament.
funk and nothing
Yeah.
but the funk.
But we can't skip
But
all
I'm
these.
gonna
Hold on.
do.
Let me go back. Let me go back one. You can earn XP for chatting. Then it's the
You said they
leaderboard
are
for
the.
who's the most XP. That's the
You said
crowns.
they are the originals of Shout. Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't. I
And
didn't know that. I,
you know what
I
other
I
song
feel
they
like it
did?
was somebody else, and I can't look it up right now. Well,
You
yes,
know
I
what other
can. I
song they
think.
did too? You know
What?
what other song they did? You know that song? I'm begging you. That song is crazy. There's like 3 versions of that song that are out.
And fun fact, I took pictures of the Isley Brothers.
Yeah, Ryan Isley. Contagious alone.
Ron and
That song is
Ron
crazy.
is a beast to this day. Hey Meta, who are the original singers of the song "You Make Me Want to Shout"?
Oh, you got that.
Kelvin.
Yeah, yeah. Calvin is the Calvin knows what he's talking about.
Kelvin. I like you, Kelvin. Kelvin, I like you. I like you. I do something called pull your card on R&B and hip hop, and that's dope. That's dope. I didn't even know that they're original. And the reason why I say I don't know if that they were the original is because if you watch the Temptations, there's a part where before David Ruffin joined the group,
Yep.
him and his brother sang a little bit softer now,
I
a
love
little
that.
bit.
I love that scene in that movie. That's my favorite
That's
scene in the
one
movie.
of my favorite parts. You said Isley Brothers layaway, cooling me out. I want to be with you. Yeah, Isley's is dope, but for me, like I said, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Maria, dancing in
I
September.
do love that. That's one of my
My
favorite songs
jam.
too. It's hard to beat that song. It's hard to beat that song. But it is what it is. Do one
It,
more.
it is what it
One
is.
more. Let's do one more.
But Zapp. I'm gonna definitely say Zapp for me because computer love. Like, come on, computer love.
He
That
said Prince or
and
Michael. Come
uh,
on, that's not
I
fair. That's
want to
not
be
even
your
fair.
man. Yeah, that's I can't do that one. I can't do it, but I can't do it.
It's
I
got
don't
to
even
be
know if I
Michael.
want to do it.
It's got to be Michael.
Ryan
It has to
says
be.
Michael.
It
Ryan
has
says
to be.
Michael. Yeah,
And it's not a diss to Prince.
yeah.
It just has to be Michael.
I feel like Michael had more throughout not just my childhood, everybody's childhood, because he did it since he was a child.
Yeah.
You said
Choose.
choose.
It's
Okay,
Michael.
Michael,
It's
dang it.
Michael. It's Michael every time, by far, and not by far like that,
MJ.
but just by far. It is what it is. Prince,
MJ.
Prince has some big hits, but he doesn't have Michael. He doesn't. Prince doesn't have one hit that's even on the level of like the
I don't
top.
know about that. I
What's
don't know
Prince's
about
biggest?
that.
What's Prince's biggest song? When Doves Cry, Purple
He got
Rain,
When Doves Cry, Purple Rain,
1999,
Party Like It's 1999, Little Red Corvette, and so
Little Red
more.
Corvette. And Michael Jackson has
However,
hundreds of songs.
like and as I did say, he's been doing it since he was a child. Because
Yeah.
you're throwing in the Jackson Five whole category,
Without even throwing in the Jackson Five, it's a wash.
even without it. Yeah, even without it, there's a lot. There is
Remember? Do you
definitely a
remember the
lot.
time like Black or
And
White,
they had
Jean,
beef.
Thriller?
That's the funny part. They actually had low key beef. You said, do you think there could be another Michael Jackson? Never.
You don't think so?
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Who's the closest?
Did
Is
what
it Drake? Is it as far as
Drake?
hit? As far as hits. I'm just talking pure hits. I'm not
Nah,
talking.
we cannot go by hits. Hits don't mean nothing.
I
We're
think
talking
hits
about
mean a lot.
talent. It don't when we're
Okay,
talking
talent.
about
Fine,
a
fine
Michael
talent.
Jackson, we're talking about
Okay,
the
you're right.
talent,
You're right.
the vocals. Like I couldn't even put Chris Brown in there because I don't see it as like timeless for everyone.
I feel you.
It's not
You're right.
generational timeless for everyone. It is he Chris Brown got some amazing songs, but it doesn't reach everyone. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Michael would go anywhere and it would shut down everything. Yeah, Chris Brown kind of gets that effect too. And I'm eliminating the fact that a lot of people still hate on him because of Rihanna. I'm
Who's the?
eliminating that just
Yeah,
on the
fine.
talent.
Yeah. Who's the top three runners up then? Is it Beyonce, Chris, and Drake? Because
I'm not putting Drake in there. I don't consider Drake a singer. Yes, he does
he
have
doesn't
songs
dance. He's not a dancer.
that
He's
he's
not
a
a dancer.
singer, but I don't put that in there. And I don't even look at Michael Jackson's dancing. I'm more focused on the music itself.
Mm.
But that's just my
So who's
this is
who's the
my
closest? Who's the
interpretation.
closest? Who's the closest without saying who sounds like it? Because people would be like the weekend, but it's not the weekend. Even though the weekend has a lot of hits
It
too, but
definitely ain't the weekend for
it's
me.
not the
I don't
weekend.
even like the weekend to be
Cultural
honest with you.
influence. Cultural influence is Chris the
Um,
closest.
Chris
It's
is
not. It can't be
definitely
Chris. I would say Usher's
he's
closer.
he's up there, but I would not look down on Usher. I would definitely put Usher up there. I'm not a hot take. I could care two rats butts about R. Kelly because everybody he's the
It's not
king.
R.
He's a no,
Kelly.
he's
It's
not.
not
Not
R.
to
Kelly.
me.
It's not
No,
R. Kelly.
he yes, his pen game is amazing, but vocally, he doesn't have songs that move me.
Mm-hmm. You gotta be a
You
crazy
said
performer
Shaka
too.
Khan or
Shaka
Tina
Khan or Tina
Turner.
Turner. Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh,
I go Shaka Khan. I like her music.
oh. I think I like Shaka's. I don't know. I don't know.
Tina Turner is
Kelvin, you
bigger, but
can't.
Shaka Khan's music is better. In my
Yes.
opinion.
I don't even know if I want to say yes. I can agree,
Proud
but I
Mary is
like
a bigger
both.
song though. What's Love Got to Do with It is a
I
huge
like
song though
both.
too. Yeah, that's a
Like
hard one.
I'm a huge Mad Max
Through the
fan.
fire. Through the fire is
I'm a huge Mad Max fan, and that Thunderdome, was it? We don't need another hero. The Thunderdome, like yo,
he
that
said
when
vocals
it
don't
first
matter
come
anymore.
on, vocals don't
Vocals
matter
still
anymore
matter with
because of more
vocals still
auto.
matter on the auto tune. You still if you have a better voice, auto tune sounds better. Look at like a T Pain, you know. That's why
Yeah,
his
yeah.
hits because it's just that good.
That's why T Pain had to shut down the auto tunes for a minute just to let people know, like I could sing. Oh, now we switching the game up.
Blade or Black
Now
Panther?
we switching the game up.
I'm going
Oh,
Blade. I'm going Blade.
oh, yeah.
No, let's do three.
I'm
Let's
gonna
do
have to go with.
Blade, Black Panther, or Spawn.
I'm gonna have to go with Black Panther. No, no, no,
Come on. But
no.
they're
Blade,
different though. They don't do the same thing. They're different. One is a superhero, one's not. Blade is not a superhero.
Blade, Blade is a superhero. Don't you
Is he?
disrespect Blade like that?
Does
Don't
he have
disrespect
superpowers?
Blade.
Does he heal? Does he heal?
Yeah,
Okay, okay, he is a superhero. My bad. He's a superhero.
he's half vampire.
Yeah, yeah,
He's the
true.
Daywalker.
Yeah, you're right. You're
and
right.
he goes against the vampires.
You picking
However,
Blade over Spawn?
I wasn't into Spawn as much.
Damn, you're missing
Mind you,
out.
I did own like the first dang 25 comics, number 1 through 25 or something like that, until they were stolen. You said I'm going to hit you in every direction, my brothers.
You
Kelvin,
picked
you got to follow both of us. Don't follow both of us. You are very entertaining and enlightening in the chat.
you picked Blade over. You picked Black Panther over Blade.
Did I pick Black Panther over
Yeah.
Blade?
Oh, we got to throw Luke Cage in, but I don't think he'll win.
Friday the 13th for me.
Halloween or Friday the 13th. I'm gonna pick Halloween.
I'm gonna pick Friday the 13th.
Wow, interesting. Interesting. It's Blade. That's
You
what I
said
said.
it's Blade. Yeah, I think it's Blade too.
I didn't love
I
the
want
Black
to
first Black
say
Panther movie, but
I'm not
I don't
going by
know.
movies. I'm going by comic books.
Okay, that's different. That's a different thing. But is Blade a comic book?
However, yes,
Oh,
yes.
but after the movie,
I, before the movie,
I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know he's a comic. I didn't know that.
Blade is technically one of the first original Marvel movies to come out. Like they had stuff, but Blade was the forerunner.
You mean before all the Marvel movies, period, or Black Marvel?
Think
Yeah,
about it. Think about it.
yeah.
Before Iron Man, Spider Man,
It's definitely before Spider Man.
all of
You're
them.
right. You're right. Yeah, Blade is back in the day, and Spawn is what's it called? Some other shit, right?
That was Image,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and it was
Very.
done really well. It definitely put Wesley Snipes in a whole nother level. I am
X Men or
ooh,
Avengers?
I'm
I'm
gonna go
going X
X
Men.
Men.
Yeah, X Men for me
I'm
too.
gonna go X Men. Now, and
I
I'm
know.
not going by movies. I'm going by comics.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, X Men has got to win.
See, I read comics as a kid. I had a whole collection, and they were stolen a couple months after my mom's passed away.
Yeah,
You said
yeah,
X Men
definitely.
too.
Yeah,
Okay, Kelvin. Okay.
good. I appreciate you giving your input too. That's helpful, honestly. Like, what else you got?
This is
Look, you want
dope.
to do iPhone or Android? All right, you already know my
Nah, it's gonna be Android for me,
answer.
buddy.
It's gonna be iPhone.
I
Dave
will I
Chappelle.
will be able to show the quality, but I'm in a car
Ooh,
right now,
this is a good question.
so you can't see the quality. But Dave or Cat? Okay, right. So check
Go
it.
first. Go first.
I've seen both I've seen both in concert. I've taken pictures of Cat Williams.
Hmm.
Um they gave me free tickets to see Dave Chappelle when they told me that they couldn't give me passes to take pictures. So they allowed me to see him for free. And that same day is the day Dave Chappelle came to Hartford, Connecticut. He did not go on until like almost 10 or 11. The gates were open at like 12 o'clock a.m. I mean, p.m. And people were tailgating. By the time Dave came on, they were drunk as shit. Some were high. So they heckled him. He was already kind of messing up and they heckled him. And
Oh, hold up. I'm sorry to
he
cut you
did
off.
a,
You were at the thing with the Dave
yes,
Chappelle, the big one?
yes,
Oh, that's
I was
crazy.
there.
People don't
And
even
he
realize what we're talking
created
about.
the Fuck Hartford campaign
I
based
forgot about that
off of that.
shit.
And none
So,
of them people were from Hartford. All them people were from like all the surrounding towns. None of them were from
yeah, yeah,
Hartford.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
for a
yeah.
while there was this whole beef. And eventually he came back to Hartford.
So, who is it? What's your answer?
Let me charge my glasses up.
Is it Cat or is it
Aliens
Dave?
too. Aliens too.
Is it Cat or wait, you didn't give the
Oh,
answer.
so for me, for me, I'm gonna go with Dave. I love Dave.
My favorite is
I love Dave.
Dave too.
Cat was funny, but I love Dave.
Yeah, Cat. I think Cat to me is funnier, but people will say that Dave is funnier. But I still prefer Dave because I'm a long term Dave fan. Yeah,
Especially
Chappelle
because
show.
of the Chappelle show.
Exactly, exactly. We're saying the same
See,
exact thing. Yo, remember that song "Fuck Dave Chappelle" by Gold? Oh, we're getting crazy
yep,
echo now.
he did that because of that.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck
Because of that
Dave
concert, he did
Chappelle.
that.
I think one of us needs to turn our phone down. I think it might be me. 'Cause I hear myself as echo. Just a little bit. I'll try to speak up.
I won't be able to
Yeah,
hear you if I turn the phone down. I'm trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
charge
yeah.
my glasses.
I know they hear an echo. They got to be able to hear the echo.
I think it's. I thought it was coming from yours because I had the glasses on and I heard the echo.
Yeah, it could be mine, but I don't know if I would hear myself echo. I guess I would though, low key. All right, I'll turn
Okay,
myself down a little bit.
so
Yeah, I
I'm
turned
gonna
myself
say
down.
Aliens 2.
Oh yeah, you said Aliens. Oh, you said not Aliens 1, Aliens 2, or Starship Troopers. I don't know if I saw Aliens 2. I saw Starship Troopers, but I feel like Aliens is gonna be a better movie, so I'm gonna say Aliens.
You should watch the new Aliens TV series. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I gotta check it out. To answer your question, y'all know Star Wars. I don't really know Star Wars. I've only seen two of those movies, but it is what it is.
I know Star Wars. But Aliens, the new Aliens series, you can find it on Hulu. I think it's on FX channel. You should watch it. It's pretty good. I enjoy it. So far, so good.
Right, right,
And
right.
then Exorcist or Paranormal Activity.
I'm gonna say
Hmm.
Exorcist, but yeah, just because it's classic. That's me.
Yeah, I gotta. I'm gonna have to Exorcist because when that first came out, like that was that hit that hit different.
What up, GG? Welcome back. I remember you.
GG. Yo, it's me. I'm back.
Is Cody
Cody or
or
Rex. I
Rex? Is
don't know
that
who Cody or
wrestling?
Rex
What's
is.
Cody? Is that wrestling? Cody Rhodes or some shit?
I don't know who Rex is. I know
I
if
don't
we're talking
know.
wrestling, it's Cody.
Who's isn't that Goldust's son?
Which one? Cody, yeah.
Yeah,
Not Gold Dust. Dusty Rhodes.
yeah, that's Goldust, right?
No. Dusty Rhodes and Gold Dust and Cody Rhodes is what do you call it?
Dusty Rhodes'
Uh
son.
Dusty Rhodes' son. Yeah.
Oh, so Goldust and Cody Rhodes are brothers.
Yep.
I didn't know
Dusty
that. I
Rhodes
thought,
was the heavy set dude that he was like a garbage man when he first came out.
but isn't Goldust's real name Dusty? He's Dusty Rhodes Jr., right? Is that what it is?
Dustin, his real name is Dustin,
Yeah,
Dustin.
yeah.
And he went and his last name is both their last names is actually I believe it's actually Runnels.
Oh, Dustin. Wow, you're bringing back memories.
And the
Uh,
stage name is Rhodes.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
Dusty Rhodes, that's the stage
Oh,
name.
Dusty Rhodes. Oh,
Um
Dusty Rhodes. I never even thought about it that way. That's funny. Uh, again, what up, GG? Cabin Fever or Cabin in the Woods? I never saw either of those.
I haven't seen Clone I don't know if you're talking about Clone Wars. I haven't watched that. Um so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to hit me with the Star Wars.
We might have to move
And
on.
Cabin Fever or Cabin in the Woods. I vaguely remember them. I want to say Cabin Fever though.
Yeah, I haven't seen them. I haven't seen those. What's
I
another
think I
one?
want to say Cabin Fever.
If you have $20, are you going to McDonald's or Wendy's?
Old Wendy's, new McDonald's.
Oh shit. You fuck with new McDonald's. Wow, that's a controversial take. New McDonald's. I feel like new McDonald's is the same McDonald's it's been, but I like the old McDonald's.
Nah, I feel like it's here's the thing. I honestly don't prefer any of them, but like McDonald's is the go-to. However, I would actually prefer old McDonald's, but old Wendy's hit different.
Old Wendy's is superior to all of them. Yeah, the foil wrappers and everything. Yeah, it is different. It is different.
Because I feel like both have now, like especially McDonald's, new McDonald's, they have too many additives in them. So
He said theaters or
the
streaming. You
fog
mean like
or the
movies or watching
mist.
a stream?
I don't remember the fog or the mist. I remember, but I don't remember the difference in them.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him. I don't know.
One, they were stuck in the store and couldn't get out to go past a certain point. What was the other one? And I prefer streaming, but I only go to the movies for certain movies to support the movie.
Yeah, movies are kind of dead nowadays. It's not the same thing. Once in a while, there's a good
Yeah,
movie that comes out.
I prefer the streaming because I could be in the comfort of my own home. Okay, now
Scarface or
you
New
being an
Jack
a
City,
hole, Kevin.
you can't
Now
really
you being an
compare
a hole,
those.
Kevin.
I guess, but it's not really the same.
Kevin, what are you doing? What are you
I picked New
doing?
Jack City.
I I want to say New Jack City. I definitely do. For the
Scarface is
culture.
overrated.
Not that not that I can relate to New Jack City more because I'm some kind of upper echelon drug dealer. However, I can relate more to New Jack City.
What about so?
I could definitely
What West Coast hood movie are we are comparing? Uh, Boys in the Hood versus shit. Don't
Menace.
I guess you say Don't Be a Menace, but I pick Boys in the Hood, but I
No,
feel like
I
Don't Be
wouldn't
a
say
Menace is
don't
a
be a
better
menace.
movie. Is a better movie though.
Menace to society. Don't be a menace is a parody
Oh,
of
sorry.
all of them.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. While drinking your juice in the hood. Thank you for clarifying that. Yes. Menace to society.
Um,
You have to say Menace.
I want to
York or
say
Jersey?
menace.
Why would you say York or Jersey? That's what kind of.
York, of course.
Yeah, I'm not gonna answer it. Come on. I hope you're from Jersey. 'Cause that's funny as fuck.
You
I
said I
like
like
Boys in the Hood too, personally.
I love Boys in the Hood, but for me, I saw Boys in the Hood from home. Menace, my mentor took me to see it,
Hmm.
and he was this he was older than me, of course, but even though he was a brother, he was a nerdy brother. So he was nervous about taking me to see Menace, and when all the curse words were in there, he was squirming in there because he was like, "Oh, like I don't know what his parents are going to say." And I loved it. I was just like, "Yo, this is dope!" Like, but uh, Menace gets I'm not Menace. Boys in the Hood gets more play, more memes about it and everything.
Yeah, it's more critically acclaimed.
Ooh, that's right.
Menace is more like underground, and Don't Be Boys in the Hood is more
Yeah.
like mainstream. Because Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr., Morris Chestnut, Angela Bassett,
Hmm.
Lawrence Fishburne,
Before some of
all
these
cats.
people were like big,
Yeah, yeah.
they were
Lorenz
like
Tate
in
is still
there.
kind of
So
like low key of an actor. He's still big, but he's still kind of a. I don't want to
right.
call him a
And
B
Tyron
actor,
Turner
but
just fell by the wayside.
Tyrant. Yeah.
Nobody really. I think the only thing they had going is Jada, and a lot of people are anti Jada nowadays.
Oh wow, wow, yeah, yeah. See, yeah, yeah.
I know.
That's crazy.
I've ignored it.
Tupac or DMX? I'm going.
I tried to ignore it.
That's
You
the
fell
tough
for
one.
the
That might
bait.
be the first draw because you can't put anybody over
I
Tupac, but and DMX is just incredible.
I
Nobody's better than Tupac. There's no. It's
I
not even a
listen to
fair question.
I, I
And I can
listen
say the same thing for DMX.
to DMX. I listen to DMX more than I
I
listen to
feel you on
Tupac
that.
though.
But Tupac got those songs though.
I love Tupac. I loved his movies. He's a better actor. DMX acts the same way in all his roles.
So does Pac though. I mean, Pac just has more
Probably,
depth to
but
his character.
I think he got right. He went to school for it.
Yeah.
DMX, Romeo must die.
Right, 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 right,
You
right,
got to get to the exit wounds. You
right,
know. I can't think of any other movies, but that's what I'm assuming how it was.
Okay, he said no draws. Just, okay, gotta go. Wake up early. Have a good one. Yo, peace out, Ryan. You've been a W chatter.
Ryan,
Make sure you subscribe to me and Ty, and we'll be back with more. I usually do
thank you for
desktops
the check in.
horizontals. Ty does everything too. We're in this. No
We're
draws
also
choose.
both
If I had
on
to pick one,
Twitch.
no, but we got to pick one. We have to pick one. Hold on, before we go to the next one, we have to pick one. Tupac or DMX. If you have to put all your money in, who are you choosing?
Hot take, I'm gonna go with DMX. I met DMX. I'm gonna go with DMX. I've
That's a good.
taken pictures
That's
of
fair
DMX
since you
multiple
met him.
times.
Hot take, I'm gonna go with Tupac. But I love DMX as like it's like 99% to 98%. It's like 98.5%
And
is
D- DMX is real quick to curse you out, threaten your life, and then pray
yeah,
for you.
yeah. Nah, they're almost the same person in a way. We it's a split. We said the other one, but DMX is like one of my favorite rappers of all time. Period. But Tupac is Tupac. Terminator or RoboCop? Obviously Terminator. If we're talking about Terminator One, no, both of them. They're all better than RoboCop.
Terminator,
They're both better than RoboCop.
Terminator, definitely.
Mm-hmm. RoboCop is nothing to play with, but it's
I
also
love movies. I love movies that have time travel in it in some capacity.
yeah. Terminator is ahead of his time, and it's still like relevant based off of what we're talking about and what we're seeing. Terminator is definitely winning that one.
Hmm.
Terminator 2 especially, but
And there's a lot of loops where they tried to close them off at the in the other spin-offs that had nothing to do with James Cameron, and then
James Cameron
because
did
James
Terminator. Why am I
lost.
late on that?
Yeah, he lost. He I don't know if he lost it or sold it or what happened exactly, but he lost the right. Some company brought it, and then he put um I think it was Genesis, one of them that was trash,
I didn't see. Hold on, I
and
didn't see
then
Constantine. Replace Constantine with something else. Do you think that's a fair comparison? I don't think that makes
Matrix. I
sense.
don't care. Matrix. I don't
Matrix is
care.
one of the best things ever made. You got
Matrix.
to compare it to something else.
I, I saw Constantine, but that's yeah, nah.
You got to go something else for that one. It's hard to do that one. You got to compare Matrix to like everything everywhere all at once or some shit like that, like some high level, just crazy concept. Like I don't even think you can compare the Matrix to anything. You got to compare the Matrix to like Alice in Wonderland, like some deep world shit.
Kevin redacted. What did you
You don't
redact?
have to.
You can't
We're just giving
redact.
you a hard time, bro. You don't have to do all that. We're just fucking. I'm just being.
We wanted to see what you had to
You
say.
might be coming back with that
Never
heat though.
redact.
No, he's on a roll too, but maybe I have to see Constantine and maybe I understand it, but I don't know. It's hard to. You got to compare the Matrix to like Forrest Gump or something like something epic. Like I don't know.
Well, Constantine is comic book based,
Mhm.
and there's even a TV show that's more comical than the movie. The movie was more serious.
Compare
But
something to
The
Pulp
Hills Have
Fiction.
Eyes or Texas Chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw.
That might be a draw for me.
Texas Chainsaw.
That's about the same. I'll
Listen,
say Hills Have Eyes just to make it.
I'm trying to pack my bag up for tomorrow.
What's the plan for tomorrow? You got an IRL?
It is a community cook-off or cookout with a DJ. I don't know if it's a battle per se. I think it's a battle.
Mm-hmm. Yo, when this is done, do we both get this video or does it go on mine? How does that work?
That part, I think it's yours because you initiated.
Mm.
Martin or Fresh Prince?
Martin.
Kelvin.
It's got to be Martin.
Uh,
Yo, I would have thought you was that Martin
okay.
1000%.
Okay. Martin, only because I'm going to default rule of I took pictures of Martin and Gina. So
Wow, is that
I'm gonna
close?
go with
Well,
that
it's
one.
because Fresh Prince was so big, it's hard to, and then Martin was so big within the community where it ends up being the
Fresh
same.
Prince
It's closer up.
Fresh Prince hit the archetype of a family. So regardless if that wasn't his direct like mom and dad, Uncle Phil was his dad and Viv
Right.
was his mom.
That's
And
a
so
a
it
realistic black
filled
family.
that archetype for that time
Yeah.
of like a great TV show. You know what I mean? Because you
No.
think Family
Yeah.
Matters, Fresh
You,
Prince, um,
it's Cosby.
Good
You should have said
Times, all of
Cosby or
those
Fresh Prince.
Cosby, Cosby,
You picked Cosby or
Cosby,
Fresh Prince?
definitely
Yeah,
Cosby.
me too. Me too. I'm not gonna lie.
Hell yeah.
I wasn't even that into Fresh Prince when it was
There's
on.
no one.
Uh, but so that's
I
why I
was
picked
in the
Martin.
Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
I was
Twilight Zone or
listening.
Tales from the Crypt.
Twilight Zone or Tales from the Crypt.
I
Sheesh.
wouldn't compare those two. I would do more Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock, but we'll do it. I say
Nah,
Twilight Zone.
because you got there's different levels
Eras.
to Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
So there's the Twilight and Alfred Hitchcock, but then there's the Twilight and Tales from the Crypt.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. There's a part of me that wants to say Tales. However, I think I'm gonna have to do Twilight because it's more of a classic.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They had they had more stuff to get you thinking,
Uh-huh.
where you're just like, oh, they had dope movie spin-offs and everything.
Right. You going
Like they
Moesha or
had
Sister Sister?
the one with John Lithgow on the airplane, and there was like some kind of gremlin that was riding the wings and had him tripping out on the plane where he was trying to like destroy it.
Yeah, my
That
mom
was
was into
my
Tales from
my
the Crypt. I
episode.
was more of a Are You Afraid of the Dark type of kid at the time.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I was a little younger. I was a little younger at the time. I never saw one episode of Tales from the Crypt. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. I was scared of that
I
puppet they
watched
had in the intro. Like that was enough to fuck me up. I was like, I can't watch
I
this shit.
watched all of it, and so I love the fact that they came out with Goosebumps, which was like a kid
Goosebumps is good.
version of those. You know, it was like
Are You
nice
Afraid of the
paying
Dark? Same thing.
homage.
Yeah.
You said Tell Creep Show or Tell from the Dark Side? Tell from the
I
Dark
don't know any
Side.
of those. I don't know them. That's
Tales
before
from
me.
the Dark Side. That's another level too.
If I have to vote, I don't know any of these. I'm gonna just say Tales from the Dark Side, just because it's probably better.
Creep Show was Creep Show they're all in a similar vein. Creep Show was just different though, because they
Yeah.
had like a van that would drive around and drop off comic books, the Creep Show comic books, and each one would be an episode.
Yo,
And
compared to Spike Lee movies, we gotta do like Do the Right Thing versus like She's Gotta Have It or like something like that, or like White Man Can't
if
Jump versus like
if we're going with Do the Right Thing or
Do the
She's
Right
Gotta
Thing.
Have It,
Do the Right Thing has to be.
She's Gotta Have It.
What? What? Nah,
Zola. I love
that's a good
Zola.
movie, but Do the Right Thing is infinite. I
Yo,
feel you on that, but
yo.
nah, man.
Okay. Childhood dreams and ambitions. I watched it and I was in love with Zola.
Bruh.
I shouldn't have been watching it. I was too young
That
to
movie
be
just
watching
triggered
it,
me.
but
Every part about that movie was just triggering to me. It was a little too real. I don't know.
no. I
I
don't
feel you on that.
remember specifically Howling and or American Werewolf. I did watch them, but I don't remember specifically. I can't really
American
give a
Werewolf. I didn't see The Howling. No, I didn't see that one.
honest. Can't find my mic
Yeah,
tray.
we might do a skip on that one. We could do something like old cartoons, like classic cartoons. Jetsons versus the Flintstones. You know, what I mean, that's you got to really think about that one.
Flintstones.
The Jetsons was fire.
Meet
The
the
Flintstones
Flintstones.
had a lot of
Yabba
episodes.
dabba doo.
You got to do like
I can hear me echoing in your on the speaker, so it's
you
definitely your mic.
what Ty. Yeah, exactly. I hear my volume is down pretty low. I hear me and your speaker. I'm curious to see these numbers. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
probably it's probably just
Simpsons or
it's
Family Guy?
probably just the what do you call it?
I feel like you should do South Park versus Family
All
Guy,
right,
but
we got to
Simpsons
go
or
back.
first Family Guy, Family Guy.
Simpsons.
What? See, this is I love
Simpsons
people's
older. It
different.
goes way back.
I feel you. I feel you, but you don't think that
We used to watch and Live in Color and The Simpsons,
true? True.
and so it go way back. Family Guy is more newer.
I feel you on
Um,
that.
and then you
South
said The
Park.
Ring or
Oh,
The Grudge.
I haven't seen The Grudge.
So I watched I watched both, and
I'm
I
gonna say The
watched
Ring.
the original because it's not an original American IP. It's actually a Japanese, both of them. Um, The Ring, she came out the TV. The Grudge was like a ghost within, like, trapped in like a house from like the anger, the hatred, and all that. I think The Ring, maybe because The Ring is attached to a video that you watch. So I
Mm.
drop a video off at your house and I forget it. It's in with all my videos, and you happen to watch it. You're like, what's this?
The Ring is more
And then you
iconic.
watch it, and next thing you know, you die. So The Ring.
I got one Friday or next Friday.
Ooh.
They're both good. They're both really,
Ooh.
really good.
Friday.
I'd say Friday too, but I like next Friday a lot.
For me, meeting Ice Cube, meeting Chris Tucker, and meeting and having his phone number directly, Tiny, aka Debo. I got his.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Yeah.
So I got when I started doing uh like being in front of the camera, I had his phone number and forgot. And so when I started it, I could have called him and said, "Hey, can I do an interview with you?"
Yeah.
And when I thought about it, he had already passed.
Ooh.
And mind you, I got his number from a convention I went to. And he was like, "Hey, take my phone number down. Send me the pictures and da 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 da." So, what's your take, Superman or Goku?
I'm gonna say I wasn't that much into Dragon Ball Z, so I don't really know how
Okay.
fire that Goku is. So I'm gonna just say Superman just out of ignorance because I don't know, and I don't really fuck with Superman that much.
Goku, I'm gonna say Goku
It's probably the right answer.
because Superman Superman is already at the level of whatever strength he's at. So he's
Mm.
already going to be there. It's just a matter of him accessing that level of power
Hmm.
and then him using his brains to defeat whoever he has to defeat
Right.
with his level of powers and strength. Goku, however, every time he gets to the brink of death, he gets stronger. Like he's able to surpass whatever level
Right.
he's at.
There's two
But it has
versions.
to be
There's
like to the brink
him
of
and the
death.
Super Saiyan version where Superman is just locked into his. So is Superman defaults not as strong as Goku Super Saiyan?
They might be on tier on par with each other
Yeah.
at Super Saiyan level, but when he starts to go beyond Super Saiyan, um, probably up to Super Saiyan 3, Superman can
See?
keep up, but then
Yeah. So
anything
it's
after that,
Goku. It's Goku.
it's a wrap.
It's Goku. It is. He wins. He said
It's
TLC
it's
or
it's
SWV. I'm gonna
it's
go
plot
SWV.
armor for Goku because Batman got plot armor. You put Batman against anyone, there's always somebody that's going to say Batman because he
Nah.
can contingency plan. There's
Superman will
literally people that will do that.
Superman will kill Batman in a second.
Oh, Batman will have kryptonite, so he can. That's how
Okay.
people think.
Okay.
They'll
Okay.
plot
Okay.
armor
Okay.
him to
Okay.
death.
True. True. That would be actually.
Oh,
I didn't
he'll.
watch that movie, Batman
They'll
vs
do the
Superman. I
same
didn't
thing
watch
with
it.
Goku. They'll do the same thing with Goku. They'll figure out some weird plot armor where they'll say Batman can do this. Like, shut up.
Wait,
Um.
what is Goku's weakness though?
Okay. Food. No. A fight. A good fight.
Mm.
He will beat somebody and will go off. And then here, take this Senzu bean so you can get stronger, so you can fight me at your full potential. Like, dude, shut the hell up. You just beat him. Like,
Right. Well,
he
that's the thing.
wants
The 40
to
isn't it
fight
one
him
of the
at the
40
full
lays of power.
potential.
Don't go past the point of victory or some shit. Like one of the for
It's something like that.
you
But
know what I'm
that's
talking
what
about
he
though. Yeah.
will. Yep, yep. He will basically be beating the person, and then he wants to test his skill even more, so he'll let that person live and or retreat to come back. Because right from start with Vegeta, he let Vegeta take off and come back.
Right. I don't even know the lore. I really don't know. My cousin was super into it, got me into that shit. So
All right, TLC or SWV? What do you think I'm gonna say?
I feel like you're gonna say SWV.
SWV.
You kind of have to.
I love TLC. Don't get me
Right.
wrong.
Of course.
I got stuck in Springfield overnight at Riverside, not Six Flags,
Yeah. Riverside Park.
Riverside.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Before it was Six Flags, they used to
Yep.
do the concerts. I got stuck there going to see TLC, and I love TLC.
So
I really
so
do.
Left Eye was
But
still in
how
the
if
group.
and ever?
Was Left Eye still alive?
Yep, yep,
Damn. The
yep.
real TLC.
How if and ever? Uh, SWV.
The song "Weak Alone" is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Between Wink, the song with Human Nature, right here.
Right here is a great record
Um,
as well.
of course, Downtown. Oh, of course,
New
Downtown.
Edition or Boys to Men. That's a good one. If there was no if there was no New Edition, there'd be no Boys to Men.
There'll be no Boys to Men. There'll be no Boys to Men.
I think I enjoy more of
New
Boys to Men
Edition.
songs, but New Edition kind of gotta take that one.
I'm I enjoyed more New Edition than I enjoyed Boys to Men. It's not that
Right?
I didn't enjoy Boys to Men, but the classics of New Edition always had kept me
Do
going
you count BBD as New
more
Edition?
than.
Because it's Poison versus Motown Philly at the end of the day.
Hmm. But I mean, can you stand the rain? Not my kind of girl. Sorry, you're not my kind of girl. You're the kind of girl.
That was cool.
If it
Can you
isn't
stand the
love,
rain? But I think Candy Girl, I think Mr. Telephone, and then the
if
BBD
it
shit.
isn't
But
love,
we got Water Runs
if
Dry
it
though.
isn't
It's hard to
love,
beat Water Runs
why
Dry.
must I feel this way? Um, there's so many.
Yeah, yeah, no. If it
Um,
isn't love, yeah. That might be if it
Boys
isn't
to
love is
Men,
better than
not
a lot.
Boys to Men the group, but Boys to Men the song.
I don't know
These
that
are
song.
the tears that change boys to men.
I didn't
Growing
even
up
know there was a
can be
song.
a
Wow.
pain. That is the signature song for Johnny Gill. When Johnny Gill joined New Edition and
Oh,
they
they coined
sang
the term boys to
Boys to
men?
Men. Yes. When you get a
Ah.
chance, look up the song Boys to Men by New
Wow.
Edition.
Okay, so it has to be new
You will be
edition. It has
like,
to be.
yo, you will be like, yo, because and when you hear the lyrical structure of what they're singing about, and you're like, wow, yo, okay,
For me, it has to
okay,
be new
and then
edition
next thing
because
you know,
Maurice Starr is my
because
guy.
they had a whole different name for Boys to Men had a whole different name, and originally in the group, it was Nate, Sean, I think it was Sean, Nate, and
Wanye?
Mark Nelson.
Not Wanye yet.
No, I don't think Wanye was the like original origin. I'm if I'm not
Wow.
mistaken. I gotta go back and listen to the story. Mark Nelson. Do you know who Mark Nelson is?
I don't, but it sounds familiar. But I feel like there's a dude from Hartford named Mark Nelson as well.
No. So Mark Nelson was a singer who he was a part of Boys to Men, but he was on the verge of going solo. So he had his own management. He had a deal. When they approached and met Michael Bivins wanted to get them a deal with Biv 10 or like his own joint,
Damn.
and he ended up getting him a straight Motown deal, right? But what happens is because um, Mark Nelson had his own deal, he could not sign.
Hmm.
So he left the group. Mark Nelson was attached to Babyface, so he was writing for Babyface, right? Now the story gets a little fuzzy because Mark said there's a lot of stuff he wrote that has Babyface's name and not his. That's all besides the point. So Babyface was putting together a group. That group turned into As Yet, and Mark Nelson was the lead singer of As Yet at that time.
Do they
And
have a
then
big record?
eventually he left. He left As Yet. They had that song Last Night. Last night you were so into it. You na, 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 na. And
Yeah,
then
that
they
song is
did
fire. I love that song. Last
they
night.
redid Chicago, a bunch of songs from Chicago. Um like Hard to Say I'm Sorry. Everybody needs a little time away. I
Yo,
heard her
man, these are
say.
hits. You naming hits. You who you
And
picking?
then
Smokey
Mark
Robinson or
Nelson,
Babyface?
Mark Nelson left that group and came out with a song called 15 Minutes. All I want
Escape or
is
Total is
15
crazy.
minutes. Ain't got no time for love. And
Escape or
after
Total.
that, nobody really heard from him. So, um, Escape or Total, shit.
Hold on.
Let's
Escape
see.
is Don't Let Go. And what's the other big Escape
No,
song?
no, that's In Vogue. Don't let go.
Oh, see, that's where I get fuzzy.
Escape
Which one is
is
Tiny in? She's in Escape or Total?
yep. Escape. Escape is just kicking.
Oh, that's a great
Um,
record.
it's they redid a song with a group called Old School called Am I Dreaming? Um,
So Escape's big
Escape
song is Just Kicking?
is
That's it?
just kicking.
No, that's a
And
huge
when
record. It's a
it
huge
was a
record. I'm not
woman.
downplaying it. Kick off my shoes and relax my feet. I know, I know.
Yep.
So what's Total's biggest song?
There's a lot. I can't
Total's
think.
I Can Love You.
Total?
I can
No.
love you. No?
No.
I'm see
That's Mary J.
I'm mixing up all my girl groups from the '90s. Escape, Total, and En Vogue are the same group in my
Was
mind.
it
We gotta break it
if
down
you
before I
are
decide.
looking at me, tell me, can't you see? There's so
Can't you
many
see?
things that you wanna do. Can't you see how much you do for me?
Can't you see? And
Um,
like can I and like I love you is or whatever I said earlier, or is the same
Two
song?
different songs. Two different
They
songs.
sound similar.
That's Mary J.
They're similar.
My Facebook profile is me and Total, but I'm still gonna say Escape.
Hold on. Okay, so the top Escape song is what? Kick off my shoes and relax my feet. The top Total song is what?
It's a couple. I can't think of them off the top of my head, and I can't search them up
Nah,
right
we
now.
gotta
That's the
figure this out right
problem.
now. Total songs. Hold on, we gotta figure out the top Total song. Sitting home if you want me. What about us? There we go. What about me? What about you? What about us? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Yeah, that's that. That's like some. Is that some like? Is that Timbaland on that?
I believe so. Yep. Do 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 do
Yeah,
do
that part.
do 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 do.
So we're going
Freaking
Total
freaking freaking.
versus Escape is
Escape.
kick off your shoes. I'm going with Total. Though Escape's reaches in the modern world much further because there's that Katy Paris and Tiny Paris.
I'm gonna go with. I'm definitely going with with Escape.
Yeah,
However,
they might
I
win.
love Total. I've officially met all of Total. Out of Escape, I have only met my girl Tamika,
Hmm.
which is the sister to Latasha.
Yeah, see, that's deep. It was real fuzzy during that time because all those girl groups sounded the same to me.
Hmm. And Escape is coined and popular because
Right, type shit. Yeah, that was fucked up.
Total show shit. And then he said the something something them ugly bitches or something. I
Yeah,
don't know what
yeah,
he said.
that was
He
wild. That
basically
was a
called
wild
them
time.
ugly. Hmm.
That was a wild time. The Juggernaut or the Thing?
I'm telling you,
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch,
Juggernaut.
or the Thing.
I'm telling you,
So
just for that alone, just for that alone.
Juggernaut or the Thing. I think that's a good question. I'm picking the Juggernaut
See, the thing
because X
is,
Men. I don't like
Juggernaut
Fantastic
is
Four.
more powerful because his helmet is mystical. However, if you find a way to get his helmet off, it's a wrap.
The Thing is just the Thing. He doesn't change form. He
He's just
stays the Thing.
he's just the Rock.
Yeah, I don't know much about his powers, but I still pick the Juggernaut because he's. I just like I'm the
To my
Juggernaut,
knowledge,
bitch.
he
Remember that
really
meme? That was like one of the first memes.
yeah.
And X Men. I just prefer X Men over a lot of things.
All right, Kelvin, we got about 10 more minutes, so we hit an hour.
True. Yeah. This is already a W stream in itself. I
Scarlet
don't know
Witch or
that.
Dark Phoenix? Wow.
I don't know that.
Okay, so this is powerful, right? Originally, before the comic book House of M, I would have said Dark Phoenix because Dark Phoenix was like all powerful. How if and ever Scarlet Witch, in theory, she's not a witch. She has what they call the powers of probability,
Mm,
where she can manipulate things through probability. When her she basically made her own children with the android vision, right? Um and then when they were doing all the mutant registration and doing all this crazy stuff, she went crazy. Um and then basically said some Thanos level shit and rewrote everything. And so under the House of M, which M stands for Magneto, um, a bunch of people were wiped out, rewritten, and some good guys were now bad guys, and bad guys were good guys. She altered the whole universe.
mm.
And Dark Phoenix, while very powerful, can destroy stuff, but couldn't alter a whole universe.
Yeah, I'm
So
lost on that. I don't
Scarlet
know
Witch.
anything. I'm just gonna say Scarlet Witch because it's the first. So whatever one wins.
Because of
What
what you said, and I watched the movie.
what states have you visited?
Me,
Yeah,
not
in the
many, to be
U.S.
honest with you.
You've been to New York.
Not many.
You've been to New York,
New
of
York,
course.
Jersey, uh,
Pennsylvania.
Delaware,
I've never been to Delaware.
Pennsylvania.
Have you been to Rhode Island?
I went. I did a wedding. I did a wedding in Delaware. I go to Rhode Island every year for Rhode Island Comic Con.
You've been to Massachusetts, of
Um,
course.
of course, Mass. Um,
Maine,
New Hampshire,
Vermont, New Hampshire. That's a good one. I've never been to
not
Maine.
Vermont.
What's the
I feel
furthest
like I've
state
been
you've
to
been to?
Maine.
Have you been to Florida?
San Diego is the furthest. Never been to
Oh,
Florida,
you've been
but
to
I've
San
been
Diego.
to
Oh, okay.
like,
So you did the. You
I don't
never
know
been to
what's
LA, but
furthest,
you
San
went to San
Diego
Diego.
or San Francisco.
Oh, damn! I've never been to San Francisco. I live in California. You never been to LA at all?
Never been to LA. I want to go to LA so bad.
Wow.
And you
Yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
Canel's doing a content house in LA and in Houston.
Yeah. Let's
So
tap it
he's
in.
looking for property. He's doing Houston first, I think he said. So he's shifted everything. So that's why he's in Houston now. And he's going to do a content house out there and a content house in LA.
You've never been to Georgia? You haven't been down to like Atlanta?
Yeah, 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 yeah. My
Okay,
family's
so
from
that's another
Georgia.
one.
So
You've
I
been some
went to
places.
the cusp. I went to the cusp of Florida
Hmm.
via Georgia. My
Hmm.
cousin got married in the, I want to say, Valdosta area. So it's Georgia, but it looks like Florida with palm trees and everything.
Have you been to like Carolinas or Maryland
North
or
Carolina,
DC? North Carolina. I've been to South Carolina.
DC. I've been to DC, Virginia.
Yep. I've
Um,
never been to Virginia.
everything else,
Probably drove through.
everything else I've been through, but I didn't stay.
Yeah, exactly.
So you like
No
drive
Chicago,
through
right?
type
No
of thing. So I
Chicago
don't
yet?
count. I don't count that. Same thing with Chicago. I had a layover in Chicago for about
Exactly,
two, three
exactly.
hours. They were filming a TV show in the airport,
Mm,
so they blocked off a section, and you could walk by and stand and watch them film.
yeah, no, type shit, type shit. I haven't been to a. It's weird. I've flown a lot, but I haven't been to a lot of places. Most of my flights have been to LA and back. Most of them. and with
And
little
I've never
layovers
met.
here and
I
there.
never left the U.S.
Yeah,
I've
same.
only been in the U.S.
I have a passport though. I have an actual passport, and I was supposed to go to Korea because me and my sister did a song called "Crew." You search it up, K Page, Kyle Young, "Crew." I was supposed to go to Korea to shoot the video, and then COVID hit, and I went and got my whole
Damn,
passport for everything. Never used it.
that would have been hot. That would have been
Yeah, it was
hot.
supposed to happen. Right when COVID, it was like COVID existed, and then it just like ramped up. Where it was like, nah, we gotta relax, and then I had it. It didn't
Cause your
happen.
sister had me going with all her like her videos and stuff, like with your dad in them,
Yeah,
you and them
no,
in the
my sister's on some
background.
other shit.
Cause
She's in a whole different
didn't y'all
bracket.
use
Like,
didn't y'all use the same store from Diamond Rough in one of the videos? I feel like did y'all use
for what
the
video? For what
market?
video?
I felt like was there a video where she was in a super like a not a supermarket but a store?
It's possible, but no. Oh, you know what? That's kind of crazy actually, because that store we shot in for Diamond Rough, I think that was downtown somewhere, and
It was
I
downtown,
know
right on
she
Main Street.
type shit. That's kind of crazy because I completely blocked that out of my memory. I don't know if that's where they shot that scene. It might have been somewhere else. But I wasn't there, so I don't know. My sister's
It
on a whole
reminded me.
different
It
level.
reminded me of that store. Yeah, it
Yeah, yeah.
reminded me of
No,
that store. I love because
I
that
forgot
scene.
about that scene with fucking Snoop and fucking damn. That scene is crazy. That
I'm
scene is
right
crazy
there.
as
Like I
fuck.
got all the footage. We
Yeah,
got
that
to
scene is
do. We're
crazy.
gonna have to do a live. Like a probably on Discord or something on our thing. Like you go live on your channel,
Damn.
jump in Discord, and then I do live on mine, and
That
let's talk
scene.
about Diamond Rough, and we could
Oh,
play parts of the
we
movie.
should do a Diamond Rough breakdown. That'd be a good video. Yeah,
Yeah,
like that whole
we can
scene. I don't
even. I
even.
mean, I don't know.
Such a
Y'all don't got
fucking
the full rights
memory.
no more, do y'all? Because if y'all
No,
had the
that's
full rights, we could play the
no.
movie.
We definitely have the full rights. We can do whatever we want with that movie. We just don't because my dad is like on the bigger and better things. It's just like a thing of the past. That's what's kind of fucking gangster about it. He's just like, eh, we did that. He's like on Kemet now. My
Because
dad's on Kemet heavy right now. Shout out Kemet
we
actually.
could we could play we could play parts to the movie and
We can
then
play the
break
whole
down and
thing.
then I could show like behind the scenes. Because I missed the jail scene.
Yeah, yeah. There's
And I
multiple jail
forgot
scenes.
what
We
else. There
shot
was a
that
couple
pretty
things
good.
I missed, but I was there for most of it because I was there the whole month. Um, the courthouse I was there
Yeah, the
for,
courthouse. That
the
was a good one.
police
You
chases,
were there at the courthouse?
interrogation. Yep, interrogation. I
Yeah, that
was
was in Hartford.
young stuff.
The which one?
Um, the teenage diamond.
Yeah, that was all on Pratt Street. Yep, and that city
Yep.
scheme. Yep.
And then what else was there? I was in all of the stuff in the bank, all of the stuff.
Yeah, I love
Um
that. I love that shit.
the what you call it, at the science center area, not the science center, but the other next to it,
Convention Center. That's
where it
where
was
that
like the
photo of me
airport.
and my dad that you got is at the convention center. Yep.
Yep.
We shot a lot there. That was good. That was
And
good
the
shit.
penthouse. And I
Yeah,
did the
on
penthouse.
yeah. Actually, where was that located? Oh, that was in the bank area. That was in the Bank of America building too.
Bank
Yep.
of, it was on top of the bank.
Yup, that shit
Yep.
was hard. Yo, low
I'm
key in
trying to think what
retrospect,
else.
like I'm so amazed at my dad for pulling that shit off. Like it's weird to even think that that's like real. And you know what's crazy? When we did Diamond Rough, you're the same age as my dad is. You're right now. You're the same age as my dad was when he did Diamond Rough. Crazy.
That,
Isn't that crazy as fuck?
that's crazy
That's
because
crazy as fuck.
and I happened to be at work one day, right? And one of my kids, I had to take him to an appointment. And I was driving by downtown right in front of the old newsstand, right?
Yeah.
And your dad was out there with a group of kids selling water to raise money for
Yeah, the
Diamond
water
Rough.
shit is crazy. Oh my god.
Yep. So he was selling water to make money for Diamond Rough.
Oh my
I
god.
pulled over downtown. You're not supposed to pull over on Main Street. I pulled over. I told my kid to wait in the car. I went to buy water. The kid was like, "Oh, it's just $1 or something like that." I gave him a $20 bill and said, "Keep it because of who your boss is, and it's for a good cause." And the kid was excited. Your dad came over to me and said, "Thanks, we raising money for the movie. You should come. We start filming in about a week." And I just so happened to have got my paperwork in for FMLA for my son, and because he was about to be born, and I was able to be there. It started filming 2 days after my son was born, or something like that.
Oh yeah,
So
yo,
yep.
continue. I got to pee real quick. Continue the story. I'll be back in 31 seconds.
But yeah, so we're talking about Diamond Rough is a movie his father produced. It had a lot of people. You had Fredro Starr from Onyx. You had Freddie Jackson had a role in there. Michael Collier had a role in there. Um, there was so many people in that movie. Felicia Pearson, aka Snoop from The Wire, was in it. You said you gave y'all like thank you. Make sure if you can follow both of us. If not, in the least bit, follow my boy Kyle Young. Um,
Yeah, appreciate the
but
like,
yeah, that
Calvin.
movie was amazing. It was a lot of local talent in that movie. He pulled off what people would have called the impossible. They would have never thought
Impossible.
you could have produced and
You
made
have
a
no
movie in
idea.
Hartford.
You have
And we
no idea.
had a red carpet premiere. Um, we had a couple nights where we did these nights out where they were like the actors were signing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Felicia Pearson had her book out.
True. I
Because a
forgot
lot of
about
people don't
that.
know, she went to jail for murder
Yep.
and ended up coming out and becoming an actress only by fate that she happened to go into a bar and Michael K.
Yep. That's crazy.
White,
Rest in
aka
peace.
Omar from The Wire, happened to be in the bar, and he looked at her, and she's gay, she's lesbian. She looked at him like, "What the fuck you looking?"
That
He's
shit.
like, whoa, whoa, it ain't like that. And he explained to her what they're working on and asked her to come to the set. She came to the set. She was supposed to have a small role. She turned that small role into a long career, and she was one of the dopest people, one of my favorite people to be around. So that was dope. You said King of New York. Yes, he
Well,
died
we skip
a
one.
few years ago.
Chicken fried or barbecue? Let's do that one first.
It's got to be fried. I got to go with the original fry because you can pour barbecue on a fried chicken. It's not going to
True.
be the same, but
True.
I'm gonna go with fried.
I'm gonna
A
go with
lot
fried
of
too. I'm not gonna
barbecue
lie.
chicken, a lot of barbecue chicken that you get in the stores is fried. However, barbecue chicken that it originates as barbecue
Off off the
hits
grill.
different.
Yeah.
Yep, right off the grill, it hits different because it's smoked. It got the nice okay, I'm getting big back and I'm getting hungry, and it's too late for me to do all that. It's too late for me to do all. But yeah, Michael K. White died recently of a
Yep.
fentanyl
Yep.
overdose. It was sad and tragic because he still had a long career. Did you get to see um what's that movie? Not movie, the TV show. I think it was on HBO or Cinemax. It was uh, who's the guy that was going to play Kang the Conqueror on
Yeah. What's his name?
Avengers and all that?
Fuck. What's his name? The homie. Not the homie, but
We got Unk Brain, so you got to forgive us.
fuck. What's his name?
He's married to
It's right on
Megan
the.
now, Megan Good.
Yeah, I know. We know exactly. Ah,
But
I can
his,
find it.
did you see his show?
His name is Jonathan Majors, of course.
Jonathan Major. What? Look up his TV show, the last one he did, or maybe the one before that.
Where he's like a weightlifter. I heard about that.
Nope, not that one.
Oh, see, I don't know.
That was a movie. It didn't come out. They put it on pause for a minute. But it was helmed by a female, and they stopped it when it was at the height of what it was doing. Um, and they took the traditionally it's based on like Cthulhu and all of that. Um, oh, what is that show? Whatever the show was, Michael K. White played his dad. There's an episode where he finds out
Mm, sorry, sure. Right. I haven't seen it.
changed because he now realized why his dad wasn't around. But
Damn.
like
That's
the
deep.
show was amazing, and then they got rid of it. It dealt with racism. Like I don't know if you ever seen or heard about the Green Book. The Green Book was a book that had places that were safe for black people to travel down south.
Yeah, I was just thinking about some of the towns earlier. That's cool.
Show, and a lot of people like, oh, that's too woke. That's too woke. We don't want to. But like it was that parts were true. This is a fictional show with black characters, and it's showing them going through these sundown towns and how they were getting treated, and it's a science fiction movie off the hook because what the way they weaved in the science fiction and how the people were trying to like manipulate and control him based on racism, and he was supposed to be like somebody with like a higher level kind of power scenario, and they wanted to manipulate him. That was dope. Jonathan Majors, Regina King, Idris Elba movie, The Harder They Fall. Yo, I'm
I didn't
lightning
see
with
it.
the blam blams. You ain't see it?
Wait, is that the
Yo,
cow? Wait, is that the
you're
cowboy
doing
one?
yourself. Cowboy movie,
So the
yes.
only reason I know about that is because of Chase.
You need to see it, Joe.
But do you know Chase though, right?
Which one is who's Chase?
Chase Dillon, he's a kid.
Yes, yes, little short kid.
That's
He's
like
in another
like close homie, like our friend. Like we know him.
because he's from
He lives in
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
He's
He
in
lives in
another movie. He's in another movie too. I forgot what
yeah,
it was.
the one with the Book of
That
Clarence
that was dope. The Book of Clearance.
and Haunted
Yeah,
Mansion on
but
Disney.
and another one. He's in a couple. He's in a couple movies. He's
Yeah,
dope.
he lives in
So
like
you
East
have to watch
Hartford.
it. You have to watch it. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I just seen the first part, but yeah, I gotta watch it. I guess I gotta watch it.
I want to meet him. I want to meet him. I would
He's
love to
around. He
like
lives in East Hartford. Like
do
he's
something.
around. He's around.
I would love to do something with him. Like
Hmm.
seriously,
He's around. He's around.
stream or something.
He's like
I
very
gotta
tied
I
in
gotta
with
find him
what's his
if y'all
name?
could connect it.
Lakeith Stanfield and Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, if y'all could connect connect
Chase
those
is the
dots.
homie. He's around. He's literally like he lives in East Hartford. Like he's around. He's here. It's weird. It's weird how he's
Literally, if
like
you
he's
could
here.
connect, if y'all could connect the dots, yo,
Yeah,
I
no,
wanna I wanna
he's a
meet
he's
with him.
around. He's around and like likes my
Are you
Instagram
hearing
posts.
me, Kyle?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying he's so
Connect the
around.
dots.
He likes my Instagram posts. Like that's how much around he is. Like
Connect the dots.
he's a regular
I want to
guy.
meet him.
Yeah, Chase
Connect those
Dillon.
dots. That'll be dope.
I think he's about like 15, 16 now. But they also said
Con-
King of New York. I would have compared King of New York to New York City more. I would say those movies are similar to me. King of New York. I saw that movie kind of more
but
recently.
you have to
Just
see the harder they fall.
yeah, I gotta watch
Um,
the whole thing. I just don't like TV.
the the one of the Power Rangers plays. Excuse me, I forget his name, what his character was, but one of the
Wait,
Power
what Power?
Rangers.
The Black Power Ranger? Zach?
The no, he's a black person who plays the Power Ranger on the last movie that was trash.
You're not talking about Walter Jones?
The no, the movie that was in theaters most recently a few years back. It was a garbage movie, but they switched everything around. I think he was the Red Ranger if I'm not mistaken, because they didn't want to go with the racist stereotypes of the Black Ranger being a black person.
Oh,
But
I didn't know
anyways,
anything.
I forget his name, but he's in The Harder They Fall, right? And he plays a
Okay, I'll see.
character. Um, who's like a quick draw, right? And
Okay.
he said this line, it just caught me off guard when he's like, "I'm lightning with the blam blams," and because he's fast with the guns. You gotta watch that movie. That movie is off the hook.
But it's not a movie; it's a series, right? Like a miniseries.
No, it's a movie. Netflix is a
I,
movie on Netflix.
it's not a multiple part thing. Okay, I got it. I know. I only came across it because we like. See, I do. Yeah, whatever.
You have
But yeah, Chase is
you
funny
have
though.
to
Yo,
watch
you
it.
will meet Chase. I'm surprised you haven't met him. I would have thought you would have met him just because he's around.
I have
Literally.
not met him. I would love to meet him. I gotta figure because he was in a couple different movies. One was about like time and stuff that dealt with
Yeah,
racism, but I forgot the name of it.
yeah. Because he hosted the like one of the finals for Harvard Got Talent last year. The
Dang, and
year
that's the one I missed. Like your dad ain't called me for that one.
Yeah, this is a lot of moving pieces. My dad doesn't call me for some shit that he should call me for sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't
damn,
never
why you
hold it
call?
because
I'm around. You call me for that.
your dad moved too much, so I'll never hold it against him.
He has a lot of responsibility and pressure on him. That's the
Shoot,
main
next one
thing.
I might have to do a live stream
Right.
backstage.
I'm gonna try to
I'll
come
be
to
like
Harvard Got Talent
Nick
one of these
Cannon.
years. I haven't been.
I'm gonna
Haven't
be
been.
like Nick Cannon backstage as the
I'm
host,
surprised
the
you're not
backstage
involved with that
host.
yet, because they do need some support with some of that shit. I'm not gonna
Well,
lie.
I did photos for 1 year. I think it was the second year.
Okay, so you're in the fold a little bit, but yeah, it's just more or less. It is what it is. But they use Wally to do the photos a lot. So it's mostly what's needed is the video. I would
Who's
say
that? Wiley.
he's it's actually I don't know if you know Miss Rabina. It's actually her brother, but Wally
Okay.
Clady, I think his name is not Keith Clady. Wally. He just does a photo. He's the one that does the main photos for Harvard's Got Talent. So it's kind of one of those things. But
Yeah.
if you can do the if you
So
can
he
handle
had
the
me
video
do
and you should actually approach my dad about doing a live stream because I think that would be a valuable piece.
the what you call it, the event, um,
The semifinals
the
or the
event
main one?
photos. Yeah, the finals.
Oh, you do the finals on one year? Which one? You said season
Yeah,
two?
I think it was season 2.
That's
But yeah, I would
when
do like
Wasile and Karina or whatever her name when the ballroom dancers won, I believe that year.
then it might have been what was the third year?
The third year was this past year, and who won was Gracie
Then it
Percival
was
won
this.
this year.
Then it
And
had
the
to be
first
what was
year
the first year?
was the two kids won. The Too Much Crew won the first year. Two
Then it was the
kids.
first year.
Yeah, Too Much Crew. The two kids
Yeah,
from Miss Kim's group.
Miss Kim. Yep, yep. So it was
Yep.
the first year. I did the first
Yeah,
year
yeah,
then,
you the first year,
and
yeah.
I was backstage a lot, taking a lot of backstage photos. I hung out with them. I went to the little after party they had upstairs. I would live stream with a mic and interview people backstage,
Yep.
and I would capture that whole thing like I'm Nick, how Nick Cannon does on what you call it, America's
And
Got
then you
Talent,
could provide the VOD after and we could upload it on the channel. That's what I would try to prove the business
and
wise.
we could clip all of that.
So I would try to, because so what's the difference about season four of Harvard Got Talent this year? Breaking news, it's not really public yet. It could change. They're not going to do the semifinals this year. It's only going to be the finals, so it's going to be a little bit different. So that doesn't really
That'd
affect
be
your,
dope.
so it's a little different this
When
year.
do you know when is that scheduled? Because what isn't it around spring?
Yeah, but I think they might be changing it around because the finals are
Okay,
usually in, I want to say June or July,
okay.
and then they might. I don't know what they're going to do exactly. I don't know yet. I shouldn't be speaking on
I
this.
need to sit. I need to sit with your dad. Somebody else said recently they saw your dad. I gotta sit with him and talk and
He's actually, if you
see
hit
what's
him
what.
right now, I'm not gonna lie, Ty. If you hit him right now, as someone that knows how to do social media, you might be able to get in there. I'm not gonna lie. He just talked to me today. I need somebody that knows how to do social media stuff. The fact that you know how to shoot, clip, post, SEO,
Cause
all that shit,
if,
you might be able to sneak
if
in there.
if I might sneak in and do
Between
some other
Harvard's
stuff,
Got
maybe
Talent, Kemet, and JYE, you might be that
that's what I
guy.
was
I'm
about
just
to
letting you know.
say. If he can get me if he can get me paid enough that I don't gotta work and I could still do this and then I can do that
See,
and
it's gonna
I
be
don't
one
want
of
to
those
say I don't gotta
things.
work. That
It's gonna
sounds
be like an
wild,
extra
but
I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's gonna be like an extra 2 to 3 a week, but you can like work from home type shit and be mobile. It's gonna be
But
like
that's
that.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably what I'm talking about. Your dad over the years have consistently found me in different parts and would always like um try to put money in my pockets. But I was
yeah,
when he was putting money in my pockets or trying to, I would turn him down a lot because I was working. I didn't need the money.
yeah.
And I'm like, there's a part of me that's indebted to your dad. So I'm like,
Hmm.
nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking that.
If you could
And
get
then
Kemet
every
popping
now and
right
then,
now, he would fuck with you heavy. If you were like clipping Kemet and creating content with Kemet right now, he would fuck with you heavy right now. And if you're able to hold down Harvard's Got Talent as far as content and clips and reels, he would fuck with you heavy right now. I'm gonna keep it real.
yeah,
Heavy.
I've been meaning to reach out to him. Did you know the issue is um pride sometimes too.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's like it's hard for you to like, oh, let me hit him up and say, I need this. Can I do this
Nah, I
or
never feel
blah
that
blah
way. He's
blah.
always looking. I'm telling you, it's always like trying to
I
slide.
I know that. I'm just saying my own pride stops me from stuff like that. You know what I mean? There's people in my life that have always been there for me, and there's a part of me that's saying I want to make it on my own. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
true.
I want to be able to do this on my own. Think about how like you're saying I want to be this underground person and I want to make it on Twitch and all these other things. So
Right.
I don't want to do all this other stuff. But the minute just these small interactions that we do, it
Hmm.
it sparks something in you and it makes you say, "Wow, maybe I should do this." And then you try it and you're like, "Oh shit, you know what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like look at what the hell we're doing right now."
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
even be
was
thinking about
supposed to go
YouTube
to the
vertical.
club.
I wasn't be
I was
thinking about
supposed to be going to the
YouTube
club,
vertical.
and
Yeah.
we're YouTube vertical chilling with Kelvin Jackson, who says Teddy Pendergrass, love TKO or Bobby Womack. If you're thinking lonely now, I'm gonna say
If you
Bobby
think Bobby
Womack.
Womack, Bobby
Bobby
Womack,
Womack.
yeah,
Bobby
yeah,
Womack. Bobby
yeah,
Womack is
every
the
time.
archetype for KC of Jodeci, whether you know it or not.
Exactly, because that was on what Soul Food soundtrack or some shit. He
I
did
don't
the
know what
cover. Was
soundtrack.
that? I can't
But
remember.
he did. Casey did the hottest cover. Not a lot of people
If
do
you think it,
justice.
yeah.
He did it. What you call it? But Bobby Womack, I met Bobby's manager. Um, and I was ready to try to get an interview, and he passed. That broke my heart. One of my favorite songs. I love Bobby because it's a singer named Calvin Richardson, right? Who did a song with Angie Stone called More Than a Woman, right? Calvin Richardson is from North Carolina, where Casey and JoJo's from, and they all kind of grew up together and they all got that church soulful raspiness. And Bobby did a whole album dedicated, not Bobby, Calvin did a whole album dedicated to Bobby Womack. And my
Wow,
favorite Bobby song is a song on a movie called 110th Street. The song is called Across 110th Street.
I don't know that song.
It is a song that's just so dope and it's spiritual, but they're talking about just the street life. But we're talking about from the movie that happened in like the 70s. We're talking black exploitation.
Yeah, yeah. What is it called? Would I have heard it
The
or just
song of
like
the movie,
what
I don't know if
song?
you heard it. My man Kelvin said, I know it is soulful. Kelvin
Okay, like
fills me,
what is it
yo.
called again? I gotta listen to it. What is it called?
The song is called Across 110th Street. Across 110th Street. You can find it all. Oh man.
It's on that American Gangster
Bobby
soundtrack too.
motherfucking Womack.
I never fucked with that
Kelvin,
American Gangster soundtrack. I missed the whole
do
thing.
you know do you know if Bobby was attached to Sam Cooke and took Sam Cooke wife? That was Bobby Womack, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I didn't know that. Damn, that's deep.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
there was
I'm
this
not
whole
well
thing.
versed on Bobby Womack. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Bobby was Bobby had he lived a life. He lived a life. There's you said, yep. Bobby and his wife had, I want to say, a son who died in their bed
Damn.
because they both were high.
What? For real?
And I think they rolled over on him or something. I can't remember the full
Damn. You would go to
story
jail for
behind
that
it.
now, not in the back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. But there was a lot of like stuff that was going on crazy back then. And a lot of them singers had tormented lives. Like Donny Hathaway. Donny is another one. He was hated for it. Yep, he was. And he kept trying to like come back out, come do something, and it wasn't until like years before he passed where he there was like a Bobby Womack revival, but even by then he couldn't really sing the same way.
So that's what he got hated because he rolled over on the baby by accident.
No, he got hated more because of stealing Sam Cooke's wife,
That's crazy.
and Sam Cooke was mysteriously murdered too, and they never they didn't investigate properly.
The only worse story than that is Jermaine taking
Uh,
Randy's wife.
Randy, yep, yep, yep.
That was I learned about that like last year. I said, "What? What, bruh?
Bruh,
That's too far.
bruh.
That's too far. That's too far. That's too far, man. Damn,
Yeah, man. It's
this has been a W a fucking W stream. I'm not gonna lie. It
yes,
worked
yes.
well.
I'm
Phone is
glad.
like the phone, just like you don't have to worry about your computer. You just go on the phone. It's a good one. I
Yep.
saw people doing this
I
on
just
YouTube, and I was like confused at how I thought they were using like StreamYard or some shit, but it's literally just YouTube. Sometimes
you
you just got to
said
use the app.
Sam Cook and Sam and Dave sued me. Dave, which Dave?
Ruffin?
Which
No,
Dave you
can't
talking
be.
about? Why is
Can't
my
be Ruffin.
brain
I got P
freezing?
again. Oh, I don't know who Dave
But
is.
Sam Cook, oh my God. Darling, you send me. Honest you do. Honest you do. Whoa. At first I thought it was. I love me some Sam. I love like Sam, Donnie, a lot of them. Like, and I didn't find out about a lot of these people until um later in my life. Like, I was an adult when I found out, and I just started doing deep dives on these people because it was like, yo, they don't make music like that no more. And then when neo soul hit, and a lot of the artists from the neo soul genre embodied the Donny Hathaways, the Sam Cooke, even the Bobby Womacks of the world. And it was like neo soul is just a different vibe within
Hmm.
itself, but
Yeah.
they take on the essence. So it's a lot of the neo soul artists hated being called neo soul artists. So
Who's
that's
the
why
quintessential Neo
music.
Soul? Music Soul Child?
No,
Erica
he is
Badu.
one of them.
Erica Badu.
Erica Badu, Erica, um, D'Angelo
Okay.
are like the top. You said, "Go back, my brothers. We all missed a lot." um, yeah. So D'Angelo and Erica and Maxwell,
Maxwell.
and
Okay. Okay.
you could put Jill Scott, and then everybody else kind of came in. There might have been some people
Why is Music Soul Child not there? He
before
was early.
but he kind of fell in a little bit after.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
He's there, and he probably is one of the ones that hit highest on the mark, and then Anthony Hamilton, right? But
Oh.
when you talk about when it first became a thing, and like I said, there was some people before, and then there was some people that was after, right?
Yeah.
And then there was some people who jumped genres. So you
Name one.
had
Name.
Raphael Sadiq from
Oh.
Tony
Okay. I feel you.
R&B,
I feel you.
and he went solo, and he was in that borderline of the R&B because that's what you're used to, and that neo soul genre cusp. And
Dave
there's
Hollister.
probably a couple others. Not, well, Dave is still R&B. through and through.
Interesting. So what's the difference between R&B and neo soul? It's very similar. It's
Neo
like conscious
soul
R&B.
is just it's more it's there's some levels of consciousness. And Lucy Pearl with Raphael Sadiq, is it Ali Shaheed from what you call it, Tribe, and my girl Dawn from In Vogue. That was Lucy Pearl. And it only had one album, and they were supposed to start a tour, and I think they only did a few shows, and then they almost disbanded, and then they added somebody to the group and got rid of Dawn. I forgot who they added. I know it's in the back of my head, but I
Why
can't
don't
remember
I
her
know
name.
Lucy Pearl? Why don't I know that?
We're gonna jam tonight. We're gonna tonight.
Okay.
But I believe it was Ali Shaheed from Q-Tip. I mean from I'll say from Q-Tip. Um, from A Tribe Called Quest. I don't think it was Fife because yeah, it wasn't Fife. It had to be Ali.
I was never that into a
I
Tribe
could be
Called Quest,
wrong.
but I fuck with Q-Tip though.
I could be
I'm
wrong.
more like
Oh,
Vibrant Thing. You know what I mean? I'm more that era.
I'm I'm a tribe because of
We need
Busta and
Applebone.
Leaders of the New School,
Okay.
and they used to collab. And when they did the song with Busta, what is that song with Busta?
Yeah,
When
I
he
know what
did
you're talking
ha
about.
ha like a dungeon dragon.
Dragon. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what that song is called, but I know exactly what you're talking
But like yo, just like I said with neo soul, on levels of consciousness, but then there's also embodiment of that 60s, 70s soul. It's like a re birth of that soul. And so
about.
a lot of those artists did
Really?
not want to be pigeonholed into neo soul after. So you had Raheem Devon who started creating extra titles on top of neo soul. So he
Mm.
would say, I'm the neo soul, but then he would start adding on. Music started doing stuff like hip hop related songs. And
Interesting.
so where he did radio on my radio, and he would tell you I was giving you signals back then, y'all didn't listen, right? And so on my radio, that whole the album was decent. Comparatively, it wasn't great to his other stuff. However, after that, he came out with a whole two different names. So one was Purple Wonder Love, and I forgot what
That
his
was
other what
later,
his
though.
rap
That was
name was.
later. That was later, though.
But that was to go away from the neo soul
I
because the
remember that,
other
though. That
one
was a
was the
weird
rap
time.
artist. Yeah, the other one was for him to go away from rap. I mean from this neo soul. You know, I think Jill Scott stayed in that lane and she never really contested it as much.
So, what's
Um,
the quintessential neo soul song? Is it "On and On" by Erica Badu? Is it "Long Walk" by Jill Scott, or what's the one where Jill Scott wrote it, but Erica performed it with the Roots? Baby, you got me, or whatever. You got me. If you were worried, nothing
um,
was wrong. What's
I
the quintessential
on
song?
might be on it on might be Brown Sugar might be. I want some of your brown
Ooh, yeah, it
sugar.
might be Brown Sugar, low key. That one
Ooh,
might be the
yeah.
one. But On and On is
Oh,
kind of the
sugar,
one
when you
too,
come for
though.
me, and brown sugar. You don't know if he was talking about a girl or if he was talking about weed. That's
Or
how
heroin,
dope that was.
or heroin.
It wasn't heroin. He wasn't talking about it.
To
We
me,
we
that sounds like
won't go
heroin.
there. That was
That
brown sugar. It was
I don't know
weed.
what kind of weed would be considered brown sugar. I'm not gonna lie.
But you don't talk about oh sugar when you're close to me. You love me right down to my knees,
That's
and when you let
heroin.
me
I'm
hit it,
sorry to bring it to you.
sweet like
I'm
honey.
sorry to burst your innocence
Skin
bubble,
is
but he was talking about
caramel with the
heroin.
cocoa. Eyes even got a
He's talking
big
about
sister by
heroin,
the
my
name of
guy.
Chocolate Tie. What is
Okay,
Chocolate
chocolate high
Tie?
as weed. You're right. You're right. Chocolate high as weed. You're right. You're right.
He's just saying he's calling it brown sugar, but it
No
could
weed should
mean
ever be brown.
rolled up, rolled up in a blunt. You know what I
He's
mean?
that's some dusty shit. Weed should never be brown.
I don't think he's talking about the weed itself being brown. I'm just talking about like in a blunt and smoking a blunt.
Okay. But it still sounds
A
like
blunt
a
is
blunt
brown, right?
with some sugar sprinkled on it. I'm not gonna lie.
He's not talking about sugar. He's just saying the sweetness
D'Angelo's
of it.
freaky.
This,
He's a freaky ass dude. I don't know if he's talking about that way. There's a
listen,
better way to
he
say that
had
way.
D'Angelo had a song on that. First of all, he paid tribute to your boy, your one of your OGs, Smokey. He did
Smokey.
cruising, baby. Let's cruise.
I gotta
From
listen to that.
here,
I haven't heard the
from
D'Angelo version of Cruising.
here. He got a song on there
I don't.
called "Shit." Damn, motherfucker. Yo, D'Angelo was ahead of his time. D'Angelo was so hot, right? The he fell from grace because of his mentals. His mentals went off the charts after he did "How Does It
How does
Feel"
it
and
feel?
became a sex symbol. And people hated on Angie Stone because they did not think
Angie
that
Stone, rest
Angie
in
Stone
peace.
could get a D'Angelo. They did not think she can get a D'Angelo, but they don't realize that these two have been together way before he became that D'Angelo. He was her backup singer, and he did not look like "How Does It Feel" D'Angelo. I didn't get into the Prince Madhouse album. So yeah, because of that, it was like, yo, dang, So he fell off. You know who helped bring him back? Raphael Sadiq.
What's Raphael Sadiq's biggest
Raphael,
song? Because I know the name, but I don't know the music. Oh, he's from 2020. Yeah.
what'd you say?
I was gonna say what's his biggest song, but he's from Tony Tone.
Yep. He had a couple
It
different songs,
feels
but
good. Yeah.
Anniversary, I Love You
Oh
Deja.
wow,
He got a
anniversary.
dope song out now. I mean not song, but an album out now. Dedicated to his brother who was addicted to heroin and was locked up and all this other stuff. Um, Another dope group that is they're R&B. They're not neo soul, but they're just dope because them and Tony fell in the same bracket. Is Mint Condition
Oh, Mint Condition. Okay.
and
Was
Stokely
there was Mint
can
Condition big
fall.
song?
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm
Are you
young.
serious?
I was born a little. I mean, it's not really my era.
Pretty brown eyes, you
Oh
know
of course,
I
of course.
feel.
Yes.
Um, and what kind of man would I be? There's so many. They got
Oh,
so many.
that's bigger than Pretty Brown. Yeah. That's the main one.
No, it's not.
To me, it is. To me, it is. To
Yo,
me,
pretty brown eyes.
I get it,
Pretty brown
but
eyes.
and maybe at the time,
As
but
soon as the beat drops, like they're a
okay. I
band.
want to
That
know
is the
from.
essence of the band.
Nah, I think what kind of man would I be bigger, but that's okay. What's the top Fuji song?
It's like,
Because
but that's okay.
it's Fuji La is the top Fuji song, but what's the next top Fuji song? Because without saying Fuji La,
Fuji,
the
ready or not,
Fugees, I think is Killing Me Softly.
killing me soft me, yeah, but
Even
ready
though
or not, here we
it's a
come. You
cover.
can high. Gonna find you and
One
make you
time,
want me.
the whole shit is Ready or
What's his
Not is a single
name?
song.
I had what's his name album Wyclef album, right? I
Carnival
was
or something.
working. Yep, I was
Produced by
working
Ti.
at
Ti produced it.
what do you call it? I was working in AmeriCorps and I was working in Sands
AmeriCorps is crazy.
with
I say it's crazy.
um I believe you know him from rap. That especially like a while back. I don't know, but you might not know him, but Daniel Warren, right?
Yes, that's my homie. That's
Um
my guy. That's like my
yeah,
guy. My guy.
this this is my brother. This is my brother.
That's my guy.
We
My guy.
worked
My
at
guy.
Sands, and every day we would play the carnival. If it wasn't the carnival in the car, we would do all the skits. Um, and we would just play the whole thing back and forth to work. And then if it wasn't that, it was when the R&B group Something for the People came on. We would play that, and it got to the point where because I was heavy in R&B, he started playing a lot of R&B, and he would start to tell people like being funny online that his name is Tyrone Waterman. Like Maine. I'm Tyrone Waterman. I
Tyrell
was like,
Water
yo,
Main, like Gucci Mane.
I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
yo,
hard.
you
That's
stupid.
hard.
But
The
yeah,
Water Main.
that is my brother. That is
Yo,
my brother. I
I
worked
love Daniel
with his
Warren, aka Jack Nichols. That's my homie. We
Jack
made music.
Nichols,
We
Mr.
collaborated on
Mr.
some.
40 Bars,
He's a good
Deacon
dude.
Frost. He had all these different names. I used to he was my closer, right? So I'm not a rapper, but I'd be around somebody and dude be like, oh, I could rap. I called them, yo, this dude said he could rap, come battle him. And he'd do it. We used to go to Bar with No Name for the rap
Yeah.
battles, and the only reason why he would lose is because somebody would come in. I'm not even gonna say the name, but they got Hartford in the name, and they'll come with like 20 dudes.
Who has Harvard the name? Harvard Poe? Is that the name?
And they will have 20 dudes
That's the only
with
one I
them.
know.
And I'm not saying it's him, but it'd be people like him. They'll have 20 dudes, and the dudes would be trash, right? Hartford Poe is decent, right? But there'd be dudes that's like him that got like a whole entourage, and they would be trash, and they would win because they had an entourage.
The
And Dan
crowd.
would come up off the street by himself with no entourage. You had this dude that was off the hook, Joe Black. Um, I believe Self Suffice used to go.
Yeah, self
Um,
suffice. Yeah.
what's my man? I seen they was out there today. A bunch of them was all out there.
Yeah.
Um, Jaden, I forgot what his rap name is.
Jaden Castro?
Um, no, the
He's
black
young though.
dude is a young black dude. Is it
Yeah, Jaden
Castro? He
Castro.
black,
Yeah, with
like
dreads.
Dominican looking. Yep, he was there.
He's young though. He's
Um,
young though. He's a young guy.
what's the dude with the dreads, but they're kind of like falling apart? He's more like into the music part of it. We was just
Oh,
talking
you
about you, and we were talking about him. One of the times when we met, we were talking when we met up. Um,
really? Oh, I don't know.
he's I know he used to do drumming and stuff like that.
Oh, Assad.
I forget his name. Assad. He was there
Yeah, that's the
tonight.
homie too for a long
Um,
time.
yeah,
Self
and then
minded was his name.
Hydra was dumb drunk. Um,
Hmm.
Apathy used to be at the bar with no name when they did the rap battles. June Archer was the host. Um, and then there was this Eminem kid that would come in, this white dude with an Eminem style, and he would win every time
Clockwise.
because he was straight. Eminem was like the top rapper at the
You're not
time,
talking
so he
about
came in with
clockwise
that
though, are
flow.
you? You got to know
I don't think
clockwise.
it was clockwise.
You
I
know
don't think it was
clockwise.
clockwise. He had some like average Joe kind of name, but
Chris
This
Webby.
kid, if I'm not, it wasn't Webby. It wasn't Webby. But the kid that would perform, um, whatever his name was, it was a kid named Joe Black. He would say some stupid slap your mama kind of rhymes that was just off the chart and would have you
Nah, it's
going.
not Joey
But like I
Batson,
said,
right? You know Joey Bats.
nah. Joey the homie too. It
Hmm.
ain't him. I used to do a lot of Joey stuff when I first got introduced to him. And my boy, he lost a lot of weight. What is that dude name?
All right.
He go by the Bear God. I know you would know him just from the
I
circle of rap.
I might not though.
I can't think of his name, but he used to be with them a lot. And we did a dope event where it was a rap and wrestling style event where they all came dressed up as different rappers. It was for Halloween, and a lot of the pictures I took was going viral because I would tag the wrestler, and so like two of them came dressed as the Dudley Boys, and the Dudley Boys
Oh
reposted it,
shit. The Dudley Boys. Hell yeah.
and they had my boy um what is his name, Bobby Ocean, help coordinate the wrestling part of it, and they was slamming dudes through the tables and everything. They had a whole rap battle, rap championship belt and everything. It was dope.
What was
Some
that
dude
one
came dressed like the
place?
Undertaker.
What was that one place? That one bar? I don't know if it's still popping. The same Sully's. Is that still going?
No, they
That
changed
was.
it to not one bar.
That's not one bar.
What is it? No. We went to one bar.
Yeah. That was
K
a good
bar.
spot.
They changed it to K bar.
Okay, boy, that was a good spot for hip hop. Sully's was
And the
a
other
good.
side, the
I
other
went from there a
side
couple
became
times.
G's Grinders, but they shut down.
Yeah, okay. I like that right near the library and all that shit. I fuck with Sully's heavy. My brother's Tank Sauce, like that's a whole legend in itself. Like what I respect about Tank Sauce is like he's his own shit. Without he's Joe Young's son, but he's Tank Sauce on his own shit. Like I fuck with my brother heavy.
Right.
I would defend the fuck out of that guy. He's the real
I'm
deal.
surprised I didn't see him tonight. I'm
Yeah, he's
surprised
around.
because
He's
somebody
like the
posted a
young mayor.
picture.
He's like the young mayor of Hartford.
I used to run into him a lot.
Yeah, he's outside. He's been outside. He's been outside since he was young as fuck. I respect the fuck out of Tank Sauce.
I'm trying to think who
That's
else
the
there.
craziest shit is he's his own entity by himself. Like you gotta respect that shit. And
Nope.
my sister
Another
too,
neo
low key.
soul. I was gonna
So
say another neo
is
soul
on and
artist.
on the quintessential song? Is it on and on? Because did that start the wave? I feel like it did. Wait, is Ascension before on and on?
It might have been. It might have been
Yeah, yeah, it might be Maxwell then.
because he had that whole unplugged also,
Hmm.
and that helped catapult it because it put a mainstream spotlight on a neo soul artist and um what you call it, another person that definitely helped put it out there more was Anthony Hamilton
That's
because
after. That's way after.
yeah, but I'm saying he helped put it on more because Anthony Hamilton originally was an R&B artist signed to Uptown Records,
Mm.
and they had him in a hold. Like he was on a hold. They never put him out, right? And so I believe it was Uptown Records. They never put him out, and he was like locked for a minute. And so when Jermaine discovered him, and he rewrote his sound and kind of gave him that neo soul feel with the hip hop edge to it, and catapulted it out. Years later, he came out with the album that he worked on during the Uptown time, and Bilal. I don't know if you remember Bilal. He sang that song
Yeah, I know
"Sister."
the name, but I don't know the music directly.
He had a song, "You Must Be My Sister Soul." Um,
Okay, okay,
I'm
okay,
trying to think what else. He had a song called "Fast Cars." Um, I
okay.
can't do that one because
But
that's a little
I'm
too
thinking
high
of the
for me right
Tracy.
now.
You know what song went crazy
Not
that
not
doesn't get
that
enough?
one though.
Remember the Tracy Chapman album? Give me one reason. That song, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That was a crazy. That was
Um.
a crazy time.
Then you had India Ari is
India
another
Ari,
one,
but that's still later though. That's still later though.
and so India, she's recently in the gossip type stuff because I forgot who it is, but there's somebody who did a song and it kind of, I don't know if it takes from her or whatever, but they're giving her the whoever that person is, they're basically saying she's like acoustic soul. And India's pissed because her whole album that came out was called Acoustic Soul. And she was like, I was telling you what I was when I came out. I was acoustic soul.
Oh wait,
And
but
it
hold
was
on. We
like,
gotta
oh
relax. We gotta
shit,
relax. We gotta relax. What came first, Ascension or Lauren Hill Miseducation?
Ascension.
Yeah, yeah. Max Mel might be the goat. I'm not gonna lie. He changed the whole shit. He changed the whole shit.
Ooh,
Without
it
you,
happened the moment when
that shit's
you
hard.
were revealed. That was my
Is there
yo.
a predecessor to Maxwell? Is there a predecessor? Is it like Blackstreet coming back? Is it New Edition coming back? And then Maxwell?
I
Remember
don't.
that New Edition album? The new one
I
with
don't. I don't
Hot
know
Tonight? Remember that shit?
because oh, that was not. I wasn't going to say it's trash. It wasn't trash, but it was a reinvention that I didn't necessarily need. The album is a
Jagged
decent
Edge?
album as a fan. New Edition. I'm talking about that album, the hot with Hot Tonight on it.
I'm just saying, is Jagged Edge
It
before Ascension?
yes. No. No. Hell no.
See, it might be Maxwell then. Because
It's
everybody
got
was
to be Maxwell.
dubbing that album. Everyone was copying that album. That was like the album to bootleg. Like everybody with the new systems, you were to dub it right on the system. That was the album everybody's dubbing. I remember that specifically. That I remember that.
Remember
That was a cool.
he had there was so many songs on that album.
That was a crazy
Um
album.
way before Trey Songz
Way before.
sang till the neighbors know my name. Maxwell was telling you till the cops come knocking.
Till the cops come
Till the cops come
knocking.
knocking.
Yeah, that shit's
Yo,
hard.
if the cops got to come knock on your door, that means the neighbors already heard you and they
Yo,
pissed.
that's hard.
So
They know
they called
exactly
the
where it's coming
cops
from.
on you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pop is
True.
coming
That's
home.
a bar.
Then he re like he flipped it on his head and came out with This Woman's Work.
Yep.
He flipped it on his head. He took the table and flipped it over. He remade a white woman's song and turned it into a neo soul classic.
Oh, that's actually a cover. Wow, I didn't know that. We
That
gotta.
is a cover.
We might have to
What is
delve
her
deep into it.
name? Kate Kate something. I forget her name. But he redid it and it basically catapulted I want to say Love and Basketball.
Okay, okay. Love and Basketball, great movie.
Um
Great best. Sanaa Lathan, Mike Epps. I mean, Omar Epps. I mean.
but let me tell you, I used his lines because his lines was on it was in a book. I want to say The Maintenance Man, right? Where he spoke about it. And uh my at the time when we were dating, my wife was like talking about it, and I went and I read the whole book in a day. In a freaking day, I consumed this book. And he said something about that line about a song by Maxwell, and it was called um Each Hour, Each Second, Each Minute, Each Day. And Maxwell had a song where um he said, "Do me till I'm done." Each hour, each second, each minute, each day. I was like, yo. And then you know who he went and he did something else with Neo Soul? It was Life Jennings. Life Jennings turned a whole prison bid into this masterpiece that was the whole thing where freaking Money Long is talking about him right now. I don't know if you're still there. Are you in earshot? Can you hear me? What's crazy is we probably were going to end this at an hour, and now we're reaching 2 hours.
My bad. Can you hear me?
I couldn't hear you. I can hear you now,
So my
but
mic is the mic's not working then.
it's got to be working. I'm hearing you now. I probably couldn't hear you when you
Do you
walked
hear
away.
this like loud right there like that?
Tap the mic. No, I can't hear you.
Okay, so it's not on. All right.
It's got to be the phone there.
It might not work with the YouTube, I guess, or something.
Now you on my scale.
It
Yeah,
it
YouTube
works
is
it
on
works
some
with
some
Prism,
different
but not the YouTube. I don't know. I don't get it.
because you could hear my mic, but I couldn't hear you because it's plugged in through the USB.
It doesn't even make sense.
It's
The
weird,
shit
but
doesn't
it is
even
what it
it
is.
defies the
But
whole principle of what we're doing. It doesn't even make sense.
what
Are
what
we
I was
are we
saying was what happened?
I was gonna say, are we skipping Kelvin, Denise Williams, Silly, or Stacy Ladislaw? Let me be
Denise
your angel.
Denise Williams. I'm gonna say
Yeah, you do
Denise
one more
Williams.
because I'm not that familiar. I'm slightly
Denise Williams.
nostalgic.
Silly is silly of me to think that I would ever how I love you. You're just a lover of the score. I could be here. So
No,
silly.
yeah, I'm-
I can't. I had to stop. The reason why is silly was remade by the angel known as Keisha from Belly,
oh wow,
who's also the female star on A Bronx Tale.
you're right. Type shit.
Um, Terrell Hicks, and she did that song justice because it's a song where it goes up in the octaves. It is one of the dope, amazing songs. So silly is definitely it for me. But yeah, so what I was saying was another person who flipped neo soul on its head was Life Jennings. He turned a prison bid into a masterful album where the whole title of the album is his inmate number, and it's to the point where right now you have Money Long talking trash about him,
Yeah, we.
right?
Yeah,
That I was covering it on my
yeah. Go watch
Twitch.
it back.
But literally, um that whole album, he took every song, he put an intro and or an outro in between, and he explained stuff and then went right into the song, and he put a hip hop spin on that neo soul. Like he had a whole song called Stick Up Kid, where he's telling you, I'm a stick up kid. If you're doing too much, I'm coming to get it. I'm coming. If you doing too much, I'm coming to get it. I'm a stick up kid. And it was a Neo Soul song. That's how dope Life Jennings is. I was gonna say was, but is. He redid Tupac's song. What is it? The what's the song that starts with the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice?
Oh, the Dear Mama.
Was
No,
it Dear
no, it's
Mama? Not
Ooh
Dear Mama.
Child. Things again. What is that
That
song
one.
called?
Some say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Some say
I don't know what that
the.
song is
But
called. Oh,
anyways,
oh, keep your
he
head up. Keep your head up.
keep your head up. He sang R&B sang "Keep Your Head Up" on an album. He got a song called "Stingy" where he basically says, I don't want to share you with anyone. He said, Victoria can't keep no secrets. Like he don't want the bra touching her. That's how stingy he is. He said, I don't want you sharing no air with no one. Hook your lungs up to me. Like this dude was on some next level masterpiece stuff. And then he did stuff like statistics where he's throwing in numbers
Yeah,
on relationships and stuff like that. So
So
he was another one that really, and I wouldn't, you kept bringing up music.
you
Music
got to
just
mention
took it
him.
to another level. He definitely took it to another level.
He's like
He
quintessential
he
of that style. He's the number one
he
person,
is
male artist of that
definitely
style, besides D'Angelo.
quintessential, like one of the number ones that put it out there, kept it out there. My issue with my brother
Been
music, I
so
love music
funny, right?
dearly. He
No, it's Demos.
rejected the term neo soul. That's why I have the issue with him. But
Mm,
I mean, come on now, just friends. It's like
that's
imagine
crazy.
back in the day. It's a combination of back in the day, two different types of groups of people sitting on a stoop. You have the rappers sitting on the stoop back in the day, where you got the brother beatboxing, and then you got the other brothers rapping. That's that part of it. Then you take the doo-wop singing and you blend all of that together. That was that song Just Friends. That was that neo soul. It was taking that old, mixing it with some new, and making it your own thing. That's what got him out there, but he rejected the title because he felt like he was more than just that. He had other things that was written that wasn't the ones that made it. It was the soul, that part of it, you know?
Yeah,
Like he got a
yeah.
song called Paparazzi on his album, his very first album, where he never once says the word paparazzi. He's talking about a relationship where it's just not happening. It's not popping the way it's supposed to. And the way he says paparazzi, like he's talking about paparazzi, but he's not talking about paparazzi. The words in that song basically say, picture me lost without you. So every time he keeps repeating the line, picture me, paparazzis take picture. I was like, yo, like you had to think, like,
Mm,
why is it called paparazzi? And he never says it. Bam.
that's
He
neo
got a
soul.
song. Yeah, he got a song where it has the church organs and it's called You'll Be All Right. And he's like talking about the world is all these problems and these different things going on in the world, but always remember there's somebody worse than you, and he says you will be all right. Like, you feel like you in church on a Sunday morning listening to that kind of song, And then there's 143. He doesn't say I love you until the end. So if you don't know that 143 stands for I love you, you don't know it until the end. When
I
he
didn't know he had a
says
song to that. I know
143,
the Ray J song 143.
nah, fuck Ray J song. I love Ray J
I
as
didn't
his
know there was
mind,
another one.
but
I
fuck
didn't
him.
know.
But go back when you get a chance and listen to his first Music Soul Child's first album. 143. He just talks about like how many times do I call you and while you were working just to tell you about your day, and he starts talking about all this other stuff, and then he goes into he just kept saying I'm trying to find different ways to the point where I found a numerical way, and that's 143. And at the very end, he goes, "That means I love you." And then when you stop and think, you're like, "How does 143 mean I love you?" And then you like, one, I,
Yeah,
four,
yeah.
love you. Oh, yeah.
That's some beeper. That's
He did
beeper
it.
shit.
Yep. So he did it. He got that song "Merry Go Round." He got that song "If I Would Have Knew the Girl Next Door Would Have Been You." And how many times have you seen a girl from high school that did not look like what she looked like in high school or even before high school, and you like, dang, she's fine now. If I would have knew the girl next door would have been you, whoo, he put it in a song.
Hold on,
He
before we
put it in a
continue.
song.
Before we continue, I gotta test your Hartford vocab. So it's 1996. What is a pager?
You're at what do you mean what is a pager? Like you're asking me what a pager is?
Besides like the digital communication device, is 1998. What is a pager?
Are you talking about like the drug addict
Sure. Yeah.
version?
Exactly. You already know what I'm saying because that's a very specific term.
'Cause I'm trying to figure out if you're talking about the drug addict who's always paging for drugs, and that's why they started calling him a pager, or if you're talking about the beeper that was
Not the
called a
beeper. Not
pager.
the beeper. Not the beeper.
I was one of the first people that had an alphanumeric pager where you can call it and say what you
Like a
want to
sidekick.
say, and it will. No, it was a pager that literally I had a 1-800 number. I made business cards that said literally all it said the best kept secret. It had my name on it and it had a 1-800 number to call me on. And I used to
That's
give it to
crazy.
girls.
That's great.
And
Okay.
that
One more
you
thing,
would
Ty.
call
We
my
need to.
number,
Uh huh.
and anything you say would write on my screen.
That's fire. That's ahead of. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
texting. You're texting. But
Yep.
one more thing, we need to make this a clip. We need to make this a clip, and I feel like you should be the one to deliver this term. And I don't know if people still use this term, but Ty, what is from CT from Hartford specifically? What is an offie?
What is an offie?
Do people still use that word?
No. And see, and this is the thing I hate about. So offie can be a number of different type of people where you have like a group of people, right? And everyone's like doing stuff regular, right? Whatever the status quo is, the
Hmm.
offie messes up stuff. And so you call that person, quote unquote, you're an offie, right?
That's the
So
quintessential
then
version of that term. Yes, perfect.
what happened was somewhere in early 2000, right? Remember, people like Snoop and everybody was calling somebody nephew, and then they
Hmm.
abbreviated it to Neff,
To
right? So you'd be like,
Neff.
yeah, that's my Neff. And then Neff became a term for offie.
Hmm.
It was like, yo, why are we doing this? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so used to that. Then we call everybody family, and the short form of family is fam.
It's
And then
fam.
what do you do when you want to call somebody an offer? You just call them fam. Oh, yo, that's that dude fam. Like, what do you
See, I didn't know
no?
that. See, you just put me onto the third layer
At
of the
one point
matrix.
they was saying fam like as in you're an offie and Neff. Oh, that dude Neff. You know what I mean? So it's like the terms keep changing. I still say peace when I hang up the phone. Other
Mm,
people say one. I don't
one,
do one.
one is
I've never
crazy.
done one. I
One is
always say
crazy
peace.
at this point. Yeah.
I'm still I leave you with peace. Like One, I just didn't catch on. I didn't catch
One
on
is
to one.
crazy.
I'm still
My
on
dad
two.
still would be like, will still say one sometimes.
He would
Like
say one.
not really anymore, but he was on one heavy. He was on one, but that's more like New York. I feel like too. Offie is
Yeah, and then
only Offie is only like Greater Hartford and like Waterbury, Bridgeport a little bit.
Connecticut. They take a lot and adapt from New York, and they try to put their own spin on it and
Offie is
everything.
not from New York. Maybe originally, but that's straight up Hartford. Only the only place that says Offie, not even in Springfield, is only really Hartford and Bluefield says Offie. It's amazing.
Yeah,
You don't even realize because you're there. What I'm trying to tell you, that is the specific ass word.
I wouldn't even know that. But
That's
it's
my
like I
childhood.
had this girl. This girl came from she came from Cali. I'm not sure where she lived at in Cali, right? Um, and I'm like I'm flirting with her heavy, right? And she's flirting back. And my one of my boys in my singing group, this dude, he literally was on the phone arguing with his girl, and then next thing I know, somehow he got the girl I'm talking to number, and it pissed me off. But that story has nothing to do with the word I'm about to say. The word she used to always say,
That's West Coast.
and I'm like, what the
That's
hell do you
West
mean? Like,
Coast.
what are you talking about? And that was a Cali
Yeah.
word, and I didn't know it was a Cali word to DC for this conference. And my boy Javarte, who's from Cali, I want to say he's in the Compton area. He might not be in the like Oakland area, and he's like he will always say hella,
Yeah.
and
It's
then
a
I'm
up
thinking,
north
and
Cali word. It's not even an LA word.
yeah, he used to always make me think of her because he kept saying hella, and that's what the girls used to say was hella,
Yeah, my
and I
cousin
was
used
just
to
like,
say that. My
okay,
cousin, he's like from Bloomfield, so it's kind of like the North End vibe. He'd be like hella, but I think he thought it was like hellava, like that type of shit. He was like
yeah,
saying it like, but that's like people in LA do. Everybody says hella, but like it's more of like a up north, more where San Francisco, Fresno,
mm,
the Bay, Oakland,
yeah.
where it comes from. Everybody says hella though. I use hella a lot, not a lot, but I use it from now, every now and then. It's a good one. Hella, yeah, yeah.
Tony was
That's still
from
there.
they were from Oakland. They were like the one of the major R&B acts to come out of Oakland.
That's like MC Hammer era.
MC Hammer, that's your boy.
Hey man, hey man. I swear, me
Hey
and
Kelvin, you still out there, Kelvin? You rode this ride with us this long?
Kelvin might be.
We
Actually, he might still be here. Might be somebody. I wish we could see the viewers on YouTube. This has been a W
we
stream either way.
appreciate
This is a
you.
good stream.
Yeah,
This is perfect. Who
we
knew?
appreciate you, Kelvin.
Who knew the answer was just going on the phone? We were trying to do
I'm
the
telling
stream.
you.
The only worst
Chat
part about
chat
this is
makes
that it's
it.
not streaming to Twitch and Kick, but my main priority is YouTube anyway, so I don't care. I'm gonna publish this one. I
That's
haven't
all
been
right.
publishing my verticals. I put my verticals all unlisted. So if you do want to see it again, just save
Now,
it. But
this one you got to list. This
yeah,
one you got to
it's
list.
going. It's part two. It's definitely the right part. The perfect part two is a good one.
Yeah, this one this just feels good. Like, you
This
know what I
part two
mean?
is better than my part one. Shit. Of course, I'm
This
gonna put
one, this one feels good. We're definitely gonna start doing more.
it's too easy. It's too easy.
This will probably be a pre-game for me. I mean, a post game for me and a pre-game for you to kick off your thing.
I wonder if people have to be a certain status to be able to do the stream with you, or you could if you could stream with literally anyone, it's a game changer. It's game
I
over.
think as long as anyone gets that link, they probably can join as long as they
That's
have an
fire.
account. I
That's a
don't think
game
it's a
changer. Everybody has YouTube, so yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's lit. And if there's no delay, we're talking like it's FaceTime. It's perfect. Yeah.
So I don't think this is saved for me.
Yeah,
So
we'll see though. But
just
I mean,
tag either way, tag me. Like,
and you
you can
can
at
tag
me
you if you put at in the name, it will tag. I should have did that. Maybe I can do it now.
at me in
Uh,
the title and the
I'm gonna try
description
to
how you
tag in
did
the
on your
title.
other one,
Yeah.
and then like I think like I said, this was dope. We gotta do more of these. We gotta do it on our
Oh,
Twitch
it
too, because
works.
that's a help.
It already tagged you. Hold on,
This
I'm gonna save this right now. Perfect. I'm gonna say
this would help.
AKA
And
Ty
then
Waterman. So for the good
I
SEO.
gotta figure out what my scenario is as far as the views is concerned, because well, you started off with a lot of views, and then when we ended it,
Of
it
course,
never
yeah.
reached. So it's like
Weird.
but I mean, it is what it is. This is still dope. This definitely was great vibes. Kelvin, there's a couple other people, but Kelvin, you was a heavy hitter
The
tonight.
highest I saw was 28.
We send you all love.
What up? What
Leanne
up?
Brash,
Liam Brash.
what
Yo,
up?
is that a return or a new one? I can't
I
remember.
think Leanne was a return from your chat.
For real, for
And
real,
then
for real.
the other thing
Is that the
is,
one that was saying some
I
crazy shit
wonder.
though? Shoot, I was saying something.
No, that was the kid.
Someone was saying some wild shit too, but yeah.
No, it was. I think it was Leanne, right? The 10-year-old.
No, oh, you're right. That's who it was.
Leanne,
That's who.
you our 10-year-old friend
I don't believe it's. I think
from New
this sounds
Zealand.
right.
We had a 10-year-old from
That's a good
Zealand
memory
in
because
the
I didn't
chat.
remember that. Yeah, we don't want to emphasize on that though too much. I don't want my fucking
Yeah,
algorithm to go
boy.
crazy. It says 44 views on YouTube on this stream, but it might calculate to something different later. That's not still not
he
bad though.
say he said, "Yeah, boy." It's our Fortnite player. What's the you need? That's what you need. You said you need the clip of It's the dude that make alcohol drinks. He be like, "Yeah, boy."
Leanne Brash, tell them to come through. You got to let them know.
Where's
Yeah, they
everyone?
were
You
here
missed
earlier.
everyone.
We've been on for an hour.
You're at the
You know,
tail end
two
of the
hours,
show.
2 hours 10 minutes.
Yeah, I
But
could probably sip on this
this is
vibe.
still a 18 plus room, so
I, I'm gonna keep
if you're
Twitch,
not,
my
it's more like a
Twitch,
21. On this vibe. Sorry. Yeah.
on low. I'm gonna keep I won't do too much on my Twitch unless it's IRL stuff.
Yeah. The fact that you can tag in a YouTube title and nobody's really doing that shit is crazy. It's very rare to see that. I've never seen it, really. I've only seen it when I tried it by accident. You can literally tag a whole person. This one's gonna have good views on it because it's one of the longest vertical streams I've ever done. The longest vertical stream, and it's the stream together. It's just the whole thing. You play Fortnite? Where's everyone? I don't know. You gotta let them know. You play Fortnite? No, I don't. But maybe I should. I'm not gonna say fuck Fortnite. Why we can't actually chat on this view though? You can't chat here. I noticed.
What do you mean?
You can chat on this. I don't see chat.
Nah.
I
Wait.
see the chat. I gotta go on my
Okay.
browser to chat.
Live chat. Yeah, you gotta go on the browser. I can see it, but I
You
can't.
should be able to chat here. That's fucked up. How can you not chat here? That'd be very well
Wait.
as
Say
a
hi
streamer.
in the live chat.
You don't really need to
It it
chat.
it gives me the option to say hi, but it won't
But
let
how do
me.
you do that? You press what?
I just tapped the screen and it said say hi, like, but it was automatically as a response to Leanne.
Yeah, there's no of that. I can just gotta go on here. So you send the yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna chat on that. What the hell? Why'd you say what the hell? What happened? It's fucking late, man. It's fucking 3 in the morning here, and it's fucking 6. Yo, is no, it's 3 in the morning on the East Coast.
Yeah,
Yo,
I'm gonna
you
get in
keep
trouble when I
talking
go
like it's your
upstairs.
first time chatting, Leon Branch, aka maybe the son of Leon Branch. What up, homies? Homies, I don't feel like you're 10. I feel like a 10-year-old from where did he
You're
say he's
arguing
from?
with a 10-year-old.
Australia. Say homies.
New Zealand from NZ.
I don't know. 7 doesn't make sense. That doesn't seem
Where
like
you
a
from?
young time.
Auckland, New
I don't
Zealand.
feel like the number will be 7. I guess it could be, but I can't tell. You did say that last time. Yeah, no 10-year-old would know about New Zealand. You're right. He's from New Zealand, at least. No 10-year-old would know NZ as like a abbreviation. Not an American 10-year-old.
Unless you're from New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm in North. That seems kind of. I feel like
Not
you're
that
not
we said
10, but you might
Welford.
be from New
How
Zealand.
far is Auckland the place, and how far is Auckland? Because that's probably the only name I know in New Zealand.
Welford. I don't know. I mean, 10. I'm probably like comparing like what I was like when I was 10 to like the modern 10-year-old, so it's gonna be different,
Yeah,
I
these
guess.
10 years
But
is
like
built
knowing
different.
North and shit, maybe that I don't know.
They
Maybe
got
Americans
they
in
got
New Zealand
cell
don't know
phones.
North and shit.
They got cell
Yeah,
phones
you're
and
right.
iPhones. We didn't have
Yeah,
that.
you're right. We didn't have
You said it's like
shit.
2 hours. Okay.
We had cartoons and fucking cereal
We
boxes.
we had Uno and Monopoly. we,
We didn't even have Monopoly. We had some Uno though. I'm not gonna lie about that. Black people love some Uno. I'm not gonna lie.
we sure do. We sure do. Now we had Monopoly. I don't know how we got it, but we had it.
We didn't.
It
I
didn't
yeah
last
that
long in our house. I think it was like one of those random Christmas gifts from like a free um
type
program.
shit. I feel you.
Like
It's
it
like
was
might
like
as well
free
learn how to play
gifts.
this shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
But it didn't last because we used to take the money and just use the money for other stuff.
The fake money for other things.
We just pretend like we had money, and then next thing you know, we never had enough money for the
Right,
game.
right, right, right. Take some of the pieces, the shoe, the hat, the
Hmm.
dog,
We would lose
the
all the
car.
all the, the different things. I was always the card, but we always lose the little symbols.
You
He
gotta replace it with
said
like a penny or something, just to as a symbolic,
he
like
said
replace one of the checkers with a penny.
do us no brain rot. I don't know what you're trying to say, but y'all kids got brain rot. We didn't have brain rot because we had to use our brains. We didn't have electronics. We had to think outside the box. We had to play outside. We That's what we had. We had to go play outside. We didn't have play the video games. We didn't have go get on your computer. Go to your room and be on your phone and play your games. You're in trouble. Go in your room. Oh man, I don't want to go to my room with all my games. We didn't have that. We had
We had
go your
endless
ass
TV though.
outside.
We had TV though. We had endless TV. Just switch the
Yeah,
channels.
but endless TV wasn't endless like it is now.
Oh
You
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
call up
yeah.
anything
It's
on
actually
demand.
endless now. Yeah.
If we had to go in our room at a certain time, none of our shows would be on that we want to watch.
You're right, 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 right.
You had to watch whatever was on TV. Period.
You know what's crazy is
You
like
know.
I was so terrible. I never knew what time any show was on. Like I was just bad at that. I knew like TGIF, Snick. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
I
Like
I knew when all the TV shows were
I was
on
bad at
because I was a TV head. Like everyone in the house knew, don't mess with me and my TV. As soon as my mom's what you call it, soap operas went off, I always had the TV to watch my cartoons. Then the cartoons go off. Then my mom will put back on her early evening shows, which were all the syndicated stuff, like the Good Times and Jeffersons and stuff like that.
that.
And
You
then,
seem like you watch Thundercats.
of course, I watched Thundercats. I watched T-Man. I
I could
watched
tell. And
Smash,
Transformers
Transformers, the OG Transformers, Generation One
and GI
Transformers,
Joe.
GI Joe, all of that, all of that.
Yeah.
And then at night, I would watch stuff like A Team and Knight Rider. Uh, what do you call it? Airwolf, MacGyver.
MacGyver. Okay.
Airwolf was a military helicopter that they would fly in to do missions and stuff. But it was like
Hawaii Five
a,
O.
a secret one. Hawaii Five O. Um, what's that other joint?
Mash.
With Tom Selleck. Uh, they redid it. It just wasn't this. It didn't hit the same. I forgot what it's called. But anyway,
What about the Wonder
Miami
Years?
Vice, Wonder Years. uh
That was a good one.
the precursor to Boy Meets World.
Exactly. And they're brothers. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep, yep,
Fred
yep.
Savage, Ben Savage. Yeah,
Uh,
that's crazy.
yep. So we would be able to do that, and then we would watch movies when we finally got cable years later. And I would sit up and watch movies. My mother would be in the living room watching movies, and what we would do is go. I would sneak in and lay on the kitchen floor and watch the movie that she was watching sometimes, and she wouldn't see. That
Yo, he
was.
said, "What's your favorite sports?" We gotta not
I'm
ignore
I'm not a
Leon.
I, I'm not a sports person. I didn't really get into sports. By default, because I had a pair of Pittsburgh Steelers pajamas, I ended up loving Pittsburgh Steelers, but I would only watch when they were in the Super Bowl. And it just so happened that they were in the Super Bowl a lot and they won a lot of rings.
Early on,
Um, yeah, the record still hasn't fully been beat. They finally matched it, but they didn't beat it yet.
they haven't been in the Super Bowl in a long time, but yeah, I feel you on that shit.
That,
I was like a
that's
Cowboys
fine.
fan by default. My favorite sport
I've
to
I've
play is
I've watched
football.
them in the Super Bowl though a couple
My favorite
times.
sport to watch is basketball, though. If I had to pick, but
I used
baseball
to
is cool in
love
person, though. I like baseball in person, but on TV it's trash.
my favorite team used to be the Pacers.
That's random. Wait, who's on the? Oh, the Pacers. That's like um,
Back in the day. Back in the day,
Indiana
not now
Pacers
though.
is what's his name? Reggie
One
Miller.
man. One man, yes. Reggie Miller. It's Miller time.
Yeah,
And I
yeah, yeah.
got to meet him and
Reggie
take his
Miller's
pictures
crazy.
when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. So after when he retired, I didn't have a team.
Is the Pacers even still a team? They must be trash.
Uh they must be. I liked the Lakers for a minute. Um our my boy from Waterbury was playing for the Lakers. Um what is his name? I did his birthday party one year. Um they brought the year that I want to say it was the same time when they brought Life Jennings to Hartford. Matt Barnes came to Hartford and Gloria
Oh,
Govan because they was dating. And then my boy, what is his name? He was playing for the Lakers at the time. I can't think of his name, but no, no, it's a dude from Waterbury. Gomes. What is his last name? First name?
oh, I know you're talking. Wait,
So, Ryan
Ryan
Gomes.
Gomes.
Yes, yes, yes. So I
I
met
forgot about Ryan Gomes.
yeah.
Damn.
So I met Ryan through Hartford Pro Am, and I did like a lot of things that he was at. So he was like the coolest. He one day we did a party and I was chilling with one of his friends. I took his picture and I went home. I got a phone call the next morning. So the day that I went to the party, I wasn't supposed to go because my son was born, right? No, he wasn't born. My son was supposed to be born the day of the party, right? Which was like the third. So you figured I went to the party on the third. That meant I was there until the fourth because of 12 midnight. Um, I get home the next morning. I got an event. I'm at the event and I get a phone call and I bust out crying. I know his boy only through going to the pro am, capturing him, and him hitting me up saying, "Yo, you took some of the best shots of my career, right?" His boy was named TJ Buckets. He
Hmm.
was murdered. They found him dead in the car. They shot him up. They think that he was robbed. It was him and another dude in the car. The dude said he was asleep, and when he woke up, I don't know if he said he like heard gunshots or whatever, but TJ was dead. And I started bawling, and it was literally the day before my son was born. And it's like I would never forget that, you
Damn.
know. And somebody called me and was like, "We're doing a tribute to him and to the girl that passed in Sandy Hook." And
Oh
she was like a
shit.
teacher, and so
Yeah.
I did the photos for that event for free. I think what's his name called me up. Uh,
Oh shit!
What was that? That was
It
weird.
looked like
What
you
just
got
happened?
disconnected or something.
It just said you're live. That's weird. Um,
Weird.
I forget his name. G Money from Hot 937 called me to do the memorial fundraiser, and it was just like, yo, I got you, I got you. But yeah, so I will always remember Ryan because he always treated me dope, and then because of his boy, it was like, yeah, but when he left the Lakers, I ain't like him. I'm notorious for liking a team because of a person.
Who do you think the most famous person from Hartford is? If you had to
Famous
pick,
from Hartford.
I say Anika Nani Rose.
I
He might
I
be from
don't
Bloomfield though.
I don't know, but I will say Eric LaSalle
Okay, that's a good one too.
just
Yeah,
because
he
of
might be bigger than her,
just
but
let
Princess and the
your
Frog is big.
soul go.
Yeah, not
How if and how
ER
if and
and
ever
Coming to America.
how if and ever notorious Tony Todd.
We got Tony Todd, rest in peace. Recently, we
Rest in
got
peace, the Candy Man himself.
Brandon and Brian Casey.
They don't represent Hartford, but it is what it is.
They are though. It's Jagged Edges. It is. Let's Get
we
Married is it's
listen.
still a big record. It's probably still very top
We
record.
we know Hartford knows, but they for years they wasn't representing Hartford. Hartford got mad, and now from their point of view, it might be a different view. They might have said Hartford didn't show them love. I don't know, but a lot of Hartford people don't think they represented Hartford. And then I went to a show in Jersey, Silk, Force MDs, and Jagged Edge,
Hmm.
and I go up to one of them is sick. I forgot which twin was sick, but I go up to one of them. I said, "We drove all the way from Hartford to come check y'all. Y'all still y'all still represent that?" Like, did you just say that to me? This mother sucker.
That's what they said to you.
One of them, I don't remember which one it was,
Oh, he was
but one of them
he was
is
on some shit
now
like that.
one of them is religious now. But that was the laziest show I ever saw them perform, and I've seen them perform many times. But it could have been because they was one of them was sick, but that didn't give the other ones excuses.
You know what's crazy? You just ran into Javon Stokes the other night, and his mom is Diane Casey, who died recently, but
They're
she's like best
cousins.
friends with like
Yeah,
Linda Casey and everything.
yeah, they're like cousins. They used
Yeah.
to be. So I would let's say I'd be backstage and Giovanna end up backstage and be like, "Yo, take a picture of me and my cousin." I'm like, "Dude, I know that's your cousin. I know. You've been telling us for the longest."
Shout out Javon. There will be no Javon slander in this street. He's been through enough.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not slandering Javon.
That's
Javon
the
go. Me
homie.
and Javon go way back.
I
I'm
know. I
just
believe
saying
it.
he would be as soon as he say that. I'm like, dude, you've been telling me that's your cousin. I know that's your cousin.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
many
yeah.
years have I known you? He'd be like, my cousin. Like, dude, like, chill. I got
Yo,
you.
do you know this artist? His name is Dayy. He's from Hartford. Deshaun. Um,
No, probably by face.
yeah, he's yo. That's actually somebody to. Deshaun is dope or Deshaun. His name is Day, but he's Wiz Khalifa's cousin. But he's been like doing his thing.
Oh,
He has like soundtrack cuts on his. I'm gonna see if I can find Day. You gotta know him though. This is like he's a real. He's hard to find. His name is Dayy. It's kind of hard to find.
yeah, I don't know him.
That's the homie though. Like I've
Maybe,
known him for forever.
maybe if I see him, I'll probably be like, oh, okay.
But it's crazy. He's actually Wiz Khalifa's cousin, and I always was thinking like they remind me of each other. And I ran into him recently, and he was like, "Yeah, that's my cousin." I was like, "How did I felt that shit?" Uh,
Mm.
Damn, I can't even find him. Well, another time for another time. Leanne Brad said, "I got two PS5s. Why? And one PS4 and a PS3. You can't be 10 because when the PS3 came out, you would have been like not even born."
It could be his mama's. It could be Leanne's.
People named Leanne don't play fucking video games. That's not a thing.
I don't know. I'm trying to
You
give
got some
trying to give
good
Leland
old
the benefit
traditional
of the
parents.
doubt.
Yeah,
But then
nah. I mean,
again, there's a
only
difference
10-year-olds brag
between
about what systems they have. I get it.
there's a difference between our traditional and the other traditional parents.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Well, our traditional parents have switched up. These new parents, they will sacrifice rent money and buy brand new Jordans over,
Mm.
and they will get the new system over paying the water bill, the
Nah, that's
light
fucked
bill.
up because I was always so salty that I never had Jordans growing up, and I would
I
look at
was too,
people
man.
and
I
I'm
was
like,
too.
what?
You ain't here. You wasn't on my live when I told the story about garbage picking, where I
Of
used to
course I was
garbage
on.
pick.
I was on that. That was a W stream. You should post that, but it's very vulnerable, so you gotta be. It's a 50-50.
I
That was
think
a good.
I went back and started posting some of the stuff.
That
So
was a good one. That was a good story.
the by default it undid it where it doesn't post automatically because of the music stuff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. That happened to me one
I can
time.
change it
You can
back,
change it
but
back.
I
Yeah.
rather it yeah, I rather leave it like that and just go back and post after,
So
just so
when
that
it
I can
doesn't
look
post it,
through.
it doesn't mute your shit out, so you can like download it as is.
That part I don't know. I got to test it
Yeah,
out
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I just downloaded it. I just downloaded one of them because I got to take out. I downloaded yesterday's, so because I got to take out the clips of me playing the game, and make a YouTube video for the game company, for the controller company.
You might as well switch to Prism Studio. I feel like they let you do one multi-stream to two, so you should just stream. You gotta go to YouTube. I'm telling you, it's gotta be a game changer. It's really a game changer.
I don't have the money to pay for Prism.
They don't. I swear they give you two for free. Is there just one for free?
They were talking about they're switching it, and then I don't want Prism on my logo on my thing either.
Yeah, that's gonna
Cause don't
happen. I guess I
when you
forgot
pay
about that
for it,
part.
it changes it.
It's
Yeah,
$10. It is what it is. Yeah, I just had to bite. I
yeah.
just
So
it was too. I was too far in. I was too. What was the movie called? Into. I was in too deep, like
in too
Mackay
deep.
Fife. Even though
It
it was
was in
Omar
too
Epps.
deep.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
was in too
yeah,
deep, like
yeah. They
Mackay
used to get
Fife.
it confused a lot. Like they're two different people, but you still kind of
They
confuse
they're
them a
they're in
little
the
bit.
same vein though. They're the same type of.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
And
Wow.
I love them two
They're really
dudes
not that
too.
similar, but they
They're
are.
totally different,
Yeah.
but because they came out in a very similar time, it's like their movies. You always kind of be like, oh, okay,
Omar Epps is way before Mackay Pfeiffer though. When you think about it though.
yeah. But the movies they were producing at a certain point
Yeah.
just was like it was
Early two
similar.
thousands. Yeah.
They have a similar look, but they're totally different at the same time.
Completely side to side. They're completely different. Yeah.
Yep.
But
So
they
it's
could
like,
play each
oh,
other's
but
roles exactly. They could play each other's roles.
because it's like the difference between Omar and Makai and Tay Diggs. You know the
Tay Diggs is a
difference.
different, slightly different category, but I feel what you're saying. Yeah, it's
But
the
do you
era.
understand?
It's the type
And
of
that's what
movie.
I'm
Yeah,
getting at.
yeah,
You
yeah,
would easily confuse a Makai with an Omar, but you would never confuse Tay with Omar or Makai.
yeah. Right. Tay is way before both of them too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tay is his own
yeah.
category.
But we had some great movies and actors. We don't got that now. I met one
Nah,
of the ultimate heartthrob goats of movies, Morris Chestnut.
yeah, that name always keeps coming up. He's like the Duke Dennis before Duke Dennis. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. I met
Yeah.
him twice. He was in a play, and
Ricky.
he with what's my girl Kelly Rowland. I met him in a play with Kelly Rowland, not Kelly Rowland, Michelle Williams, and then I met him at a club. One of the promoters brought him to the club in Hartford, and so I got to meet him then, and it was just like, yo, this is dope.
All right. So
This
who's
is
the
dope.
biggest celebrity you've met? We got to do that right now. Who's the biggest celebrity you think you've met? And I'll do
I
mine after.
I don't I don't know, to be
There
honest
has to
with
be
you.
one. There has to be one.
Yo, why the time did reset though? It says 9:55.
Mine says 154 20. So you might have got disconnected. So I wonder if it will post on yours. That'd be dope if it did though.
I don't know because we were almost at a 3 hour mark.
No, but if it was posted on yours, it would probably show it on yours right now, and I will check that for you.
But
But
I don't know off the top of my head who's the biggest. To be quite honest with you,
by the way, it's not
I don't
posting on
know.
your shit.
The person
Uh,
that gave me the biggest pop is definitely going to be Cardi B.
yeah, Cardi
Um,
B might be your number one if that's the case. I
but
don't
I
think I've
don't
met anyone who live with Cardi B before.
I don't think she was quote unquote the biggest though.
Did you ever meet
I don't
Jamie
know
Foxx?
who. I haven't met Jamie yet.
That's probably my biggest.
Um,
Him and Smokey are probably my biggest.
yeah, I haven't met Jamie. Um, I'm trying to think because understandably, I've met so many people going to like cons, so I don't,
Have you met
off the
Drake?
top of my head, never. I am Drake adjacent.
Yeah.
I've 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 taken photos of four different Drake concerts, which means that's like four different albums.
Yeah.
In the concert I might have last saw him at was the him versus Lil Wayne, where they set it up
That was a good
almost
time.
like a Street Fighter
Yeah, that was a good
type of
time
thing.
for music. Yeah.
Um, However, Chewy took my camera and he went and met Drake, and I couldn't go back to meet Drake because I had to wait in the front of the house to do the photos for the concert itself.
So Cardi,
So I
I
didn't
will
get
say
to meet
Cardi
Drake.
B. Cardi B is huge. So we'll say Cardi B. That's like that's
But
big. A lot of people don't meet Cardi B.
Cardi's pretty huge. But like I said, I've met many actors via the cons. Like the last great that I would say would be like Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Um,
I think my top actor is. Hold on, let me see my top actor. I'm gonna say Kerry Washington.
okay, I haven't met Carrie.
I met Clint Eastwood too before though.
Mm,
That's kind of high. John
but like I
Amos.
said, I've met. I wish I met John. I would. I wish I would have met John. But I of course I met Thelma.
Right,
My
right, right,
dad
right, 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 right. I met Bernadette
and your
Wilson.
dad gave me the big alley oop to do my one of my first interviews.
Cardi B
Um
is big though. That's a rare one. That's a rare one.
yeah, but I feel like there's bigger like Jordan. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
took
Michael
a
Jordan
picture
is
of
a rare
Jordan.
one. I never even close. I met Penny Hardaway one time.
I got a picture of Jordan. I got a picture of LeBron.
Did you
So
meet Ray
I
Allen?
could tell the story. So Ray is funny. So I did Ray his induction. Him, Yao Ming, Allen Iverson, Shaq,
Island
Reggie
Iverson's a big one,
Miller,
and Shaq.
Dennis Rodman.
That's big. That's all big.
Um, Yao is taller than Shaq, so to see it in person, Shaq had to kind of step on his tippy toes to
That's
put
crazy.
a jacket on for Yao
Meet and Shaq. You
because
might win with Meet and Shaq.
the attendants couldn't put the jacket on Yao because they're too short, so they gave it to Shaq. Shaq went to put it up on him, and Shaq almost had to go on his tippy toes. That's how big Yao was. Um, Allen Iverson, not Allen Iverson, Ray Allen. A couple times I've been through the airport, and Ray is going in and out the airport,
Yeah, yeah. Ray was cool.
and I
We
never
met
and
Gail
I never
King.
said
That was crazy
anything.
too. Were you around for the Gail
Who?
King shit? We met Gail King. I don't remember me. I met Gail King at a
I
couple
used to
concerts.
see Gail King like at the grocery store kind of
Exactly
scenario.
when she was around. Yeah, exactly. She was really
Hmm.
around.
Or
A
like
lot of people don't even
Dunkin'
like.
Donuts.
Yeah,
Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. She comes back
regular
every now
shit.
and then though.
Regular shit. Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think who else though. Like I said, I've met so many actors. Like I met what is her name? The Terminator girl.
Oh, I don't know enough off the top of my head. But I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, I met her. Um, like I would have to go through
That's a
my
big one.
list
That's actually a
of
big one.
of the cons. So like all the Comic Cons I've been to, just meeting different people.
I met Patti
Um,
LaBelle one time. That was crazy.
I
And
met
Viola
Patty. I got a
Davis.
picture of Patty, and I couldn't speak to Patty.
Yeah, yeah. Different level.
I
Different
froze
level
up.
of
I froze up. I froze up
different
in
level.
front of her.
Yeah, it
I was
was
like,
different.
I love, I love you, and she's like, okay, sweetie, all right, get him out of here.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. That's
Who's the
and
biggest
them
rapper
a
you ever met?
holes would not let me bring my camera.
Who's the
I was
biggest
so
rapper you
mad. I
ever
had to.
met?
It
I
was
haven't
some
met a lot
cheap
of rappers.
camera. You haven't?
Nah, I haven't met a lot of rappers. I met Styles P once. That was cool.
I've met the entire locks. I've met Big Daddy Kane,
That's a big
Slick
one.
Rick,
That's a big one.
um, what do you call it? Uh, there's
So,
so many. Kara's
so
one.
who's the biggest rapper?
The
Oh yeah,
list,
every character one. That's
the
I mean, so who's
the
the biggest
list,
rapper?
the list goes on. Kendrick Lamar,
Oh,
J.
that's it. You
Cole.
won. You won. You won with
Um,
Kendrick. You won with Kendrick. That's
I
it.
got I got a
You won the
picture
game.
with me and J. Cole.
That's a big one too.
Like I said, the list goes on. Ace Hood. I took a picture. I took pictures of Rick Ross, Meek Mill. Um, and there, like I
Those
said,
are all huge.
there's
What was the Kendrick
so
Lamar story
many
and where
old
was it?
school. Uh, Kendrick Lamar was at like the Hot Jam ish thing.
What year?
Um,
Give us some context. And what song was it? Poetic Justice era? Swimming pools?
I don't even remember.
Damn.
Everything blends together.
You met a vintage
Anything had to
Kendrick.
happen around the 2010 era. So
2010.
whatever
Okay,
was around the
that's early
2010 era.
Kendrick. That's before a lot of things.
Um, what's who else was it? I met the majority of Wu-Tang with the exception of the RZA and of course ODB, but I met YDB.
Have you
I've
met
met
50?
50. I went to 50's birthday party. I got Snoop into 50's birthday party.
So you met Snoop?
Felicia Pearson Snoop. I got her into Snoop's
Ah,
party.
Snoop. That's Snoop. I love Snoop. She's cool as fuck. I
I've
love Snoop.
I've
That's
took
the homie for
pictures
real.
of Snoop's concert. I got asked to come and take pictures of Snoop. Trippy Red,
That's big.
um,
That's a big one.
uh, Wiz,
That's a big one.
ASAP,
That's a big one
ASAP
too.
Rocky, ASAP
That's a huge
Ferg,
one.
Joey Badass,
Yo,
Young Thug, Lil Baby,
you met. Wait. You say
uh,
you met Young Thug? You met
NLE
Young
Chopper.
Thug?
Not met, but took. I've taken their photos at the
Got you.
at
Got you. You've
concerts.
been
So there's a
at the.
lot of people I don't get to meet them, but I get to take their
Hmm.
photos. Um, I'm trying to think who else is it. There's the I literally can keep going on names
You
like
got to do a
as
whole
I
video
do
just on Thug. If you took photos,
as
memorable
I
photos, you got to do
do
a whole thing.
as I do the show, like as I do more of Twitch, I'll start to like go through my archives every day. So every time my idea or my goal would be to go through one and just talk about either being at the concert, who the person was, or this is just the throwback and I really ain't got nothing to say
Did you ever
scenario.
meet Cassie?
Who?
Cassie.
Cassie,
Yeah.
the
New
singer?
London, Connecticut. Yeah.
Yes, that my picture of her and Diddy went viral.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's
I
a whole
haven't done.
episode.
I'm redoing my Diddy story on my stream, but I'm waiting till I get a stream with a lot of viewers in it. When I
I feel
start
you.
getting viewer, I don't want to waste the ammo on that one.
There's no ways posted on YouTube. I'm telling you, you're gonna
Yeah,
be like,
but I don't.
oh,
I've already. But that's
you've done
the
it before
reality is
already.
I've
You've
already
already
done
done it.
that.
I got
So
you.
I
I
want
got
to
you.
save it for my chat because
I got
as I
you. I
do
got
it
you.
with the chat, it enhances the story because they ask questions. They be
I
like, "Oh,
feel you.
you did this." That's what happened on YouTube. Not YouTube, on when I first did the story on TikTok, and people would ask me questions. It bumped up what I would say, and it allowed me more ammo to clip farm. You know, well, that's why I
True.
was talking about. Why do you have 1,000
Interesting.
bottles? I don't need
So
what you need to do. What do you need 1,000 bottles for?
you're already
What do
ahead
you
of
got
what
to
I'm
slip and
saying. Then
slide?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so I want to be able to have that because like think about this whole initial conversation. A lot of it was driven by our boy in the chat asking us, "What do we rather?" So like we were
True.
initially testing it out and then we stayed because it became entertaining and it was like now we just keep going on and on. Like we could have easily said, all right, I'll talk to you
Hold up, hold
later,
up, hold up. Before
you
we
know.
continue, Kanye Pharrell.
Have I met them? No.
No, I'm saying which one do you pick?
Who do I pick?
Yeah,
Kanye. But Kanye makes me sick to my stomach too at the same time.
that's how you know somebody's talented. Where you can't
I
stand them as a
just
person, but that work is that work. It says a lot about his talent.
yeah, yeah, I guess. I just
You still picked him,
Kanye ain't been the same. He ain't
not
been the
you,
same.
but that's how good those first two albums were.
He ain't been the same. But I mean it is what it is. I got
Did you
invited
listen to that new
to
album though? Sorry to cut you off. Did you listen to that album though?
nope.
Bully. The
Uh-uh.
album was crazy.
Nah.
It's crazy.
None of
It's
these
amazing. It's the
albums
best music made of that year. World War Three,
none of
amazing.
these albums move me the
I'm talking about
same way.
instrumentation. You didn't hear World War
Yeah,
Three?
but yeah, nah. Nah.
Listen to World War
None of
Three.
these albums
It's the best song
none of these albums
of
move
all
me
time.
the way.
I feel you.
Which album you think I'm gonna say?
What, College Dropout?
None of them move me that the same way. It's
Right.
just now, mind you, what's the one after college? What's Jesus Walk album? What's
Late
that one?
registration. Late
I
registration.
love Late Reg. I love that one too. But he started like just going a different, like the Dondas and all that. They're still cool. Don't get me wrong. But that bullshit with what is the one with honey?
Yeah, that's is that Bound 2?
Yeah, like that. It started getting a little weird for me. I got off the ride. I couldn't be on
No, I
the
got off on Yeezus. That's where I kind of been was like because it was like college dropout, late registration, graduation is really where I fell off. But a lot of people like
I'm a
that album,
stick
and
with.
then Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy. I like that one. Then he did 808s and Heartbreaks. A lot that was where I feel like he fell off for it was 50
It,
on that one.
and there's almost always there's going to be songs on there that I do
But I
like,
love
but it's
808
just
Heartbreak.
it's not the same where I could listen to a whole album and be like, yes,
Right.
But yeah,
Listen to
I'm not
World
one of
War
those people
Three.
like
It's so good.
I'm not one of those people where like, oh my God, he's such a genius. I can look past this. I can't. I just can't. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm
He had me at Bush don't like black people. He had me. He had me. And then he goes and he loves on the Cheeto Man. And that's where it was just like, yeah, no, I'm good.
well, I think the turning point was Gold Digger, but that's where
I
it kind
love
of went
Gold
left.
Digger. I
For
love
me,
Gold
that's where I
Digger.
was like, okay, all right, bro. But but I was still into this. I just got this Yeezy jacket. It's a long. I'll show it in a different thing, but I'm a Yeezy fan. I think it's because we're both born in June and we kind of like think of things similar. But it is what it is.
I guess, but you're in the rap genre. I'm more rap adjacent. The all my celebrity photography beginnings started for my love of R&B, but I found myself more at comedy shows and hip hop shows.
Type shit.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
I would get the calls to come and shoot a lot of hip hop shows. Like I got the full Dipset, um, the full, like I said, the full Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? So stuff
Who's the
like
best
that.
rapper in this set?
And Dipset,
It's got to be. So you're gonna be between Cam and Jewels and Jim Jones is probably third for you, but Jim is nice nowadays.
I
Who's the best
no,
rapper in this set?
let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. I can't tell you who's the best. Who do I like the most is going to be Jim.
Whoa, I was expecting you to say Cam. That's what's up.
Well, Cam was killing me with the pink. He was killing me. I couldn't. I'm so old school. The pink color just wasn't doing it for me. And my boy Shane used to come out the house, right? We'd be like, "Yo, we're gonna go to the club, or we're gonna go
Pink was a
here,"
moment for
and
a couple of years.
I would come. Literally, I would go pull up at his house and pick him up. This nigga will have a whole pink tracksuit on. I'm like, "No,
That's
nigga,
too
go
much.
home and
Yeah,
change.
that's too
You is
much.
not coming out with me in no pink tracksuit." He's like, "What? Yo, it's hot." And he used to recite every single Cam line, play Cam
It's
all
that
the
tutti
time.
fruity. It's that moody
Yeah,
goody.
yep, and I couldn't get into it. I didn't like 50 Cent. because it had nothing to do with whether his music was good or not. It was I was working with kids, and all they used to do was repeat 50 Cent lines word for word,
Damn, that
and
was
I
an era
hated it.
too. That was a good
And I
era though.
hated it because I'm so much up there. You know what I'm saying? With like how I was, I'm always trying to teach kids lessons, and it's like I couldn't like bring them down, so I had to be like, "Yo, come on, like you gotta do better, you gotta be better," and y'all repeating these lyrics. It was like, "Yo." However, a turning point where it was like, I forget the song, but there was a song he had, and I remember being at Bar with No Name when June was doing the rap battles, and this the beat that came on was a 50 beat, and my boy Humble came out there and started rhyming, and he just rolled that rhyme, and it was a 50 Cent beat, and I was like, "Yo, you know this cat Humble, the rapper,
I don't know. I was trying to think. I don't know if I know it. It sounded kind of familiar, but not really though. I was really trying to get my brain on that one.
because he kind of slowed down when he probably slowed down when you started in the game because you're
Type
younger than
shit.
him, but he used to be around the Paper Boys all a lot for a lot of times, and he
Mm,
had a song that he made that was called the Ice Cream Man. I think it was called Ice Cream Man, or it might have just been called Ice Cream. Um, and his he used to work with Chase. I don't know if you know Chase.
mm-hmm,
What is his name? His Lewis something is his real name, but they call him
mm-hmm.
Chase. I think it's Lewis. But he used to do like videos and stuff like that for a lot of the up and coming rappers that were like of substance. But anyways, I did they did a release party for that song. Um, I forgot where was that. It was at Envy and stuff like that. But anyways, Humble to me, like he was just one of them dudes from Hartford that was like on.
Yo, I remember a certain time where the biggest rapper from Hartford was Milo Chef.
And on that note, I gotta go. It's 3:40.
Nah, yeah, I'm just saying.
No, Milo, my boy, but I gotta go because I'm gonna keep talking. You talking Milo? I'm gonna start telling stories, good and bad.
All right, on that note, let's end this shit because it's getting 172 minutes, whatever that equals in hours and minutes. We did a good job, W stream, and I can't wait for the transcript and the chapters and the description and the tags and all that shit. On that note, we have BKS with the W. Hey, that was a W interview, basically side by side interview, vertical. So
Well, it wasn't
let's end
really
on
an
that note.
interview. It was a conversation.
Yeah, this is a good one.
It
This is a
was
good one. Not interview. Yeah,
it felt good,
yeah.
then.
It's a
It felt good.
podcast.
I love this.
Yeah.
Definitely. We're gonna do more. We're gonna do
We
more.
just unlocked the next level.
We sure did. We
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
did.
yeah. Because we don't have to be on our
All right.
computers. Just like bum, 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 bum. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
All right, my
Perfect.
brother. I will holler at you later.
All right.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.
Yep.
Peace out. I'm
And
gonna end this shit. All right. Peace.